West, y'all.
And me swearing my head off on a 1 minute video.
Yeah.
But they only see that part. Nah, you're just arrogant. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I mean about how you say that. You say the things that because I was brought up in that fight. Like I'm still my parent. Like there's still doing that. Hey, just fight if you love it, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember when I watched that video, it brought back the memory of when I was younger and like there was five lovey at home.
Yeah.
We used to sell our TV, sell the couches, and I'm like, what for? My parents just wanted, in my eyes was to please these other family members, and we go beer, and I just thought, man, I wish I had, like I said, you got the voice, man, the voice, bro.
Yeah, they were like, bro, you got big balls to say that, bro. I was like, bro, I still straight my face in public, but like some of these people, man, like, I think with me when there is no regrets when I put those videos out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no regrets when I put the videos out. So whatever I said, I mean it.
Yeah, yeah.
And people think like just because I put the video out, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start hiding because like it went viral. Maybe for the good reasons, maybe for the majority of it will be for the bad reasons because people only react to what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And then they blow the whole fucking thing out of context.
Yeah.
So even when I'm walking around and people see me, I look at them as if, oh, you're another troll. It's just the way since I've been doing these videos, the bad guy kind of gimmick, and it doesn't stop me from doing my normal things that I do with my wife and my kids.
Yeah. So
going shopping, doing grocery shopping, clothes shopping, errands here and there. It doesn't stop me from doing my normal day-to-day things, even though like people in the comment section like, oh bro, you actually need to kiss the floor or this bolo. I'm like, oh okay, yeah.
I see it too. I see the people stitching some of your vids, and then because there was this one guy, like he always stitches your vids, and I'm like, I was gonna reply, but then I thought, nah, because to me at the end of the day, it's just social media, like. But then, because he was going hard on you, and I'm just thinking, Sully, you don't even know the whistle, bro. Calm down. But see, they grab your vids to get them, likes and views or whatever, right?
Yeah. That's what I noticed too. Like, especially with the parade videos, the content that I put out, and it's the same reaction.
Yeah.
They don't listen to the message that I was saying, but they're like, Sully, if you're angry, why don't you clean it up? I was like, fucking, you guys act like kids, bro.
Yeah.
Like how a parent will say that to their kids. Like, bro, before you have a shower, make sure you clean up your mess. Or before you have a shower, make sure you clean up your mess. Or before we have dinner, make sure you clean up your mess.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, bro, the kids are gonna crack a foot. I'm like, oh fucking, no, you do it. Yeah. So these reactions that I'm getting and these stitches and duets from that video. That's all that comes to my mind. I was like, bro, like, it's not my job to go down to the community and pick up all your shit, man. And then some of these islanders or like some of these Samoans, when they do their reactions, they all think I'm a Maori speaking on behalf of Samoans. I'm like, bro, it's not my fault. I look like this, bro. That's the way God designed me, bro.
What nation are you anyway? Like, are you full Samoan?
Yeah, full. Yeah. So I think people tend to ask what nation am I because the way I talk and like obviously the way I look.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the reaction that I get when I say I'm Samoan, they're a bit standoffish. They're like, half. I'm like, nah, I'm full. I'm full. But like, I think what makes it worse is because I'm not fluent in the language.
Yeah.
Like, there's some words here and there and some sentences here and there, but in my eyes, bro, when I try and speak Samoan, I sound like a plastic Samoan. Oh, yeah. So when I'm saying it, I'll say a sentence like to some of the boys, and they're like, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh fuck. Oh fuck! I don't know if I said it right.
So you're like us then. You're like us, Kingston, bro.
Yeah, so it's all for a laugh. Like sometimes the boys, like they know what I'm like. It's just only for content, but sometimes the people that don't know me, they think that's how I am, or like my intentions are bad, which is not. It's just the way I deliver a message. Yeah, sometimes you have your motivational speakers or your positivity speakers, but then you got me where I'm just straight to the point, ugly truth and everything like that. And some people, they can't handle it. They want someone to tell them what they what they want to hear.
Yeah.
But me, I'm like, oh fuck off. If you're gonna act like a prick, then I'm gonna tell you, stop acting like a fucking prick, bro.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you want to lose weight, don't eat pies.
It's just I think when people follow me from day one, like since the first day of lockdown, I think maybe like 2 years ago or whatever, I only jumped on TikTok for just for a laugh, just to get me through the 4 weeks. I mean, like there was a big buzz about TikTok before the lockdown, and everybody was like, bro, you do your videos on Facebook? Because I used to do videos before TikTok.
Oh yeah.
But when I upload it to Instagram and Facebook, it's only like 1 like, 2 likes.
Yeah.
Maybe no likes at all. So I was just doing it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And then one of the boys, like he was going hard out with TikTok. And he was like, Sully, you should put your videos on TikTok, man. I get, but that's a kid's app. At the time, yeah.
Just
like,
dancing and all that kind of stuff.
It was under a different brand, like musically.
Musically. Because my daughters, they used to do their videos on that, and then they started doing TikToks, and then I was like thinking, oh, what's this? It's a little kid,
Yeah.
And then next minute, boom, it just took off. Celebrities were on it, everyone was using it.
Yeah, hard out. And so when I uploaded the TikTok app, but I just left it on the back burner for maybe a couple of hours on the day one of lockdown. Yeah. And then so like the kids were there, eh? Like your kids are there for 4 weeks. I'm like, fucking hell. Man, can only do so much with these kids.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh fuck, since I downloaded TikTok, I'll see what the whole hype was about.
Do some TikToks.
Yeah, so I started doing that, get me through time, and then I don't know. I think you just get hooked. All the reactions you're getting.
What was the first video that like really got you like the notice in that?
I think I think I went viral with the when Polynesian kids before they go to bed. I think it was like where the dad is coming downstairs trying to tell his kids like, oh, before you go to bed, make sure you turn off all the lights.
Yeah.
And then the dad goes to bed, but then the son, he's too busy doing whatever the fuck he's doing. And then he looked at the time, it's like 3 a.m. He's like, oh shit, I gotta go to bed. So he turns off all the lights, but then there's one light, and he's like looking up like upstairs, like fuck, if I turn off this light, it's gonna be dark. So he's like, oh.
I think that's the video I saw, bro.
He switched the light switch off, and he's like, my God loves me. And he starts running. I just did that for a laugh, and then when I woke up the next day, bro, and then fucking in the thousands, like the views in the thousands with the comments, I'm like, oh fuck,
damn,
and followers too, like, oh shit. So I started trying to do more of those kind of skits,
Yeah. And I saw the ones in your car that like you're doing like 2 like skits in your car too.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that cracked me up as well.
Everybody thought I was like I must have a lot of time on my hands because it's me playing 2 people, so they think like, oh, so you're in the driver's seat and you do 1 take, then you press stop, jump out, go to the passenger seat, sit down, close the door, press record. I'm like, oh, nah, there's a thing on an app that I use. It's called Flip.
Oh,
so
okay.
The whole time, bro, I'm just talking to one side.
Yeah.
So I'll do like say like I'm doing a line right now and I got a beanie on. I'll do whatever line, then I'll press stop, then I'll take the beanie off and do whatever I need to do to be a different person, and then I press record, but still talking to the same side.
What's the app called? I'm like, get back home and
So you know the app, like the edit part, it flips by itself. Oh,
yeah. So instead of me like jumping out, go to the other side, press record. This is just press flip.
No, man.
So sometimes if you like, since I told you guys that, if you guys happen to go back to those videos, you'll see that like the tattoos are on different arms every now and then. Because it's been flipped. Yeah.
And the background will be the same.
It'll be the same. Yeah. Sometimes I'll fuck up because like there's a steering wheel here, and I'm doing the skit like that, and then when I push the flip, you can see the steering wheel on this side. So everyone's like, "Sorry, I never knew there was a car with 2 steering wheels." I'm like, "Oh shit!" So the next time, bro, I'm like, I'll try and pan the camera away from the steering wheel. Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit!
Because I remember when TikTok, because we jumped on TikTok. Hey, the Whisper Network jumped on TikTok, but we jumped on it real late, just to get on the on the bandwagon on the train. Because everybody, it was all about the short attention span. Flipping through the.
Yeah.
And that's like I never got used to that because I'm always about long form sort of stuff,
okay,
like watching half an hour YouTubes or stuff like that. But but I know the generation coming up now, they're all about the 15 second,
just the hard and fast ones,
hard and fast there. But the amount of content out there, man, there's so many.
Yeah, I think that's the only way if people are seeking to be like an overnight celebrity is go on TikTok. You won't find that on Facebook or IG or Twitter. You won't find it. I reckon Twitter is more like already made celebrities. Like they're already like the Kardashians and all them. That's some of the apps that they use. You got Facebook. Facebook's just for like every Tom, Dick and Harry like us. And then IG when I go live on TikTok and then I'll get fucking banned. Or whatever, it's stupid, man. Like I'll be having a little like live session for like 5 minutes, and then TikTok will say, "Oh, you've been your live has been cancelled due to nudity." I'm like, "What the fuck, bro? I'm wearing a jumper, bro." Yeah. So sometimes it's either TikTok is too sensitive, or some of these trolls, bro, trying to bait me into something that they want me to say, like through the comments, like, "Oh, what are your thoughts on this guy?" Or what are your thoughts on what's happening in New Zealand? I'm like, oh, fuck it, nah. Because I remember the last time, bro, like, I'll address those issues on live and then I'll get cut. So when I see those comments, I'm like, oh, fuck, nah, what's the next one? And sometimes, bro, they'll either, like, want me to get a reaction, or if I don't give them one, then I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, he's being charged for nudity or all that kind of stuff, yeah. So when I go appeal, that's why sometimes when people try and find my accounts, bro, they're like, oh, sorry, another account, a new account. Okay, fuck. I went from,
That's what I'm trying to, because the account I looked at last night, is it a new account?
It's a new one, yeah.
Man.
It's, because I think when I first came on TikTok, I think I pushed out maybe, I think close to 200K followers.
Damn.
Yeah, so when my account first got suspended, bro, I was like, fuck. Like all this fucking hard work for nothing.
Yeah.
And then I kind of took a break, but then I just like I took a break for like a week, and I'll still do my videos, but I won't put it on TikTok. I'll do it on the other platforms. But then like the reaction I'm getting from those other platforms, it wasn't the same as TikTok.
So
I'm like, fuck. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do another account. So I'll do another one, and then I'll do my normal skits and everything like that. But then some people, because I think we're living in a era where it's cancel culture. People don't agree with what you say or how you say it. They tend to report and get it banned. Yeah. And then I think I drifted off from the skits. I'm like, oh, fuck this, bro. Then I started looking more towards like issues or topics that people don't speak about, or that's right there in your fucking face, but they choose not to like
talk about
admit it. So then that's when I came along and I started pointing out issues like the school curriculum with pronouns and shit like that, the rainbow community trying to make people like me accept your views or accept your ways. I'm like, with me, in terms of like the rainbow community, like I'm cool with you living that life, but if you want me to share the same views, I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me homophobic or doesn't make me transphobic. It's just that you believe in your ways and I believe in my ways. So don't try and justify whatever you fucking believe to what do you call it? Minimize my moral code, you know?
Yeah.
And then sometimes when I say that, people tend to say like, oh, bro, what about your fafa uncles or your fafa relatives? I'm like, same thing. Like,
it's them.
It's like I still love my family members, like those that are gay, those that are lesbian, those that are fafas, but don't expect me to come to the gay parade and wave the rainbow flag, because I don't. Like, I love you and everything like that. Like, I respect your ways, but as far as me doing that, like putting on that banner and saying, yes, I support the gays when I don't, it's just like saying, oh yeah, are you an atheist? So put on a shirt that says I love Jesus then. 10 times out of 10, an atheist won't wear it. So that's the same with me. Like, if you give me your if you try and convince me that way of living is right, it might be right in your eyes, but in my eyes it's not.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things what's happening, eh? Like, you can't even, there's no middle ground anymore.
Nah.
It's either black or white.
Yeah.
And if you're one of them, well, they're gonna hate you no matter what. Like,
yeah.
You know?
Exactly, man.
It's like,
That's the thing. I don't know where.
choose your team, otherwise we're gonna get you. You know? If you choose the wrong team.
That's why I think that's why there's a lot of content creators, those that are not scared to speak their mind. They run over to Rumble. There's another app called Rumble.
What's that one?
It's the same thing, like uploading videos, but on Rumble you don't get cancelled. You have the freedom to speak your mind with your views and issues that's going around. And there's a lot of people on there that I follow on TikTok, but they're not there anymore. They switched over to Rumble, so I did the same thing. And then I found like all the videos that got taken down from TikTok, they still what do you call it? They're still online on the Rumble app. So I was like, oh, bro.
Is that like TikTok?
Rumble was more like
Facebook.
it's kind of like YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like it's still the same thing. Like, you can upload your videos and your content and everything like that. There's podcasts on there as well. It's just it's not as sensitive as TikTok, where like if you just say one little word, that's gonna trigger like the whoever's running the fucking TikTok people, whoever, like, if I can do a video and a skit, and if I want to talk about an issue, and I know if I say it like how I'm saying it now, 9 times out of 10, bro, it's gonna get taken down. So I'll try and put it in a skit, but there'll be one word that I'll say that'll trigger TikTok, or that'll trigger like someone that's watching. They're like, oh, nah, he's this, he's that, he's against this. Nah, take it down. So that video will be up for like maybe a day, and then I wake up the next morning, it's gone, it's banned. You're on your last strike. And I'm like, fuck, man. So then I'll do the same. I'll use that video and put it on Rumble, and it's been on there for like, I don't know, the next 2 months, 3 months. It's still there getting views. So I was like, fucking hell, man.
You know, across all your platforms, what kind of? Cause I guess the comments that come through are different. The comments on TikTok will be different to your comments on Rumble, obviously. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sometimes
YouTube. Are you on YouTube as well?
YouTube as well, yeah. But I'll only do that for like my wrestling content. Yeah. Like just for promoters from overseas. Like if I have what they're looking for, then my email address is right there, so they'll send me like an email. Are you free on this date? Are you free on this date? Yeah. I can make it. They're like, okay, cool. Can we book you? I'm like, oh, this is my booking fee. So when I'm doing my wrestling gigs, sometimes it's word of mouth. Sometimes I got to go through like a professional channel, like, because Kingston Eclipse, it's a brand in terms of wrestling. Yeah, I gotta treat it like a profession. So like, I can't just say yes to every promoter out there. Because sometimes 3 different promoters will be asking for the same date, but then like if it comes to that point, bro, I say yes to the first promoter that approached me. So I say yes, I'll do that. Then they'll take care of like the flights. If I need accommodation is already there. If I have family within that area, I'll be like, oh, don't worry about the accommodation. I can just stay with like auntie and uncle over there. Yeah. But then, like, when it comes to traveling, sometimes my wife wants to come with me and travel. I'm like, fuck, I'm only going for like 3 days and I'll be back.
Yeah.
It did put a strain on our relationship because like I'll come back home for like 4 days and then I'm off for another 3 days, sometimes another 4 days. Then I'll come back, and then I was so focused on like wrestling that I forgot about my kids and my wife. So then I was going fucking hard out for like at least a whole year. I was being selfish, bro, and then getting gigs with like Chavo Guerrero, Carlito, wrestling like Shelton Benjamin as well.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about myself and going out to all these seminars, training seminars, flying here, flying there, wrestling like the like whatever promotion that I'm with, I'm wrestling their top guy. So like with me, with my character, bro, I'm always the bad guy. Just the way I look.
Yeah, I've seen the videos, bro.
At that
You're
time,
full of energy, man. Straight up.
Yeah, like
Jumping over the chairs.
the chairs and stuff like that. Yeah,
the ropes.
So I was playing that gimmick like I'm the outsider coming in trying to take your gold, and I'm gonna take it back to NZ, and like fucking Aussie, bro. What I noticed, bro, Aussie's a fucking racist country.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
What did you experience with that racism?
Yeah, like in every town, or not every town, but like certain towns where there's hardly any
Brown
like in the
people.
womps,
Oh, yeah.
like out in the country area. Yeah, so we'll go out to one of those towns and put on a show. And because like the company that I was with over there, they're all white, they're all Balangs, and I'm the only brown guy. So I'm like, I'll be the main event, so I'm like the last guy to come out. So then, like, while everybody's doing their show, doing their matches, I'm backstage for the crowd and just having a look, just trying to get a feel of like the vibe, the energy. Yeah. So everybody's like, oh yeah, fucking knock him out, fucking. Knock. Oh, okay, sweet. That's the kind of crowd I'm working with. Yeah.
The chair.
Yeah.
Get the chair ready.
So when it's time for me to come out, I'll walk out and I'm ready. I can tell, bro. He's the black bastard coming into Oz. Trying to take on one of our own.
Oh yeah.
Fuck him. Nah, fuck you, bunga.
Hey. Oh man.
Yeah, but like me, because I grew up in the era of thick skin, where like you know, not like nowadays, like the era that I came up through was like 16 stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah.
But then, like, fast forward many generations later, bro, it's like 16 stones may break your bones, but like, bro, fucking, there's a difference between bully and banter, bro. Like, with me, like, I grew up in that era, like, with the one-liners, bro. Like, if someone mocked you, you gotta think, like, one-liner back.
Yeah.
So that was the era that I grew up in. So, like, when I was doing wrestling, and everybody, all these kids as well, man, and all the adults still like, are you fucking bunga?
Oh man!
Because the way I come out is like I got a towel over my head, and I'm just looking down. I'm just looking down to the ground, and I'm just trying to soak it all in. And then like I knew it was gonna be racist there, so I'm feeding it all in. Bro. Like, oh, fuck off back to where you come from, and fuck off. I'm like, yeah, all good, bro, all good. And because with me, bro, I flip the bird every now and then. So then, like, I always poke fingers and all that kind of stuff, bro. Doing like, oh, you fucking wanker, yeah, fuck you too, bro. And like,
with the kids there and everything.
Yeah, with the kids too. But like, I mean, like, if the kids want to swear, bro, okay, I'm gonna give it back.
Yeah.
But on that night, bro, I started noticing there was this one kid and his dad, like they're sitting front row, and I think the dad was like, he was all nga or whatever, bro, but he was like just swearing his head off, and his son was doing the same thing to me. So I'm beating up my opponent. I'm giving him a hiding, but I can just hear him like, oh, your hair's ugly. Because at that time I had a ulupo'o with like a horse tail, but it's dreaded, like a Bob Marley dread.
Yeah.
So I'm just beating him up, and then the kid was like, you're ugly. I'm like, fuck, bang. I can just still hear it. And the dad goes, you fucking bunga. I'm like, oh fuck. And then he went so far, I just had enough. So I stayed in character. I grabbed the guy. I was like, fucking stay outside. So I threw him out. And then I went to the opposite side of the ring, jumped out, and made a beeline to the father and son. And I looked at him, I go, who'd you come with? And to the kid. He's like, I came with my dad. And I looked at the dad. And I go, is this your son? I'm like, yeah, what? What are you going to do? And I looked at the son. I was like, is that your dad? I'm like, yeah, that's my dad. Why? Fuck you. I go, where's your mum? He's like, what? I go, where's your mum? My mum's not here. I was like, you know why your mum's not here? And all the crowd started to like, they get a bit quiet.
So they can hear you.
Yeah. I was like, because I was shouting, bro. Like, you know what the fuck your mum is? And everyone's like, what? And like, yo, you know what the fuck your mum is? And like, nah, your mum's out there fucking someone else. I rolled back into the ring, bro, and I stood like that in the middle of the ring. I was like, yeah, what? And then everyone's like, where's your mum? Where's your mum? Where's your mum? Where's your mum? And like all of a sudden, bro, I was a bad guy turned into a good guy. But that's not my role. Is I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I think people just love the bad guy, love the guy that does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So I'm just standing there in the middle of the ring, like, yeah, what now? And then the dad was looking at me, you fucking bastard, you fucking bastard. And then the kid looked at his dad like, is it true?
That's what you get, man.
Yeah. Because with me, like, I can dish it up and I can take it. So like with me, like, I'll use whatever they say to me. I'll use it as fuel. Yeah. I'll just return the favor back. Sometimes I'll get a good response. Sometimes, like 9 times out of 10, bro, it'll be like, you're just a fucking prick, bro. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. As long as you're paying to see me, swear the fuck out of you. But then there'll be sometimes, man, like I'll get so much heat that when it comes to the end of the show, bro, I gotta go backstage and I gotta go through the back door to go to the van. I can't show my face out to the public, especially like if some of those Aussies, bro, they get so triggered and they after the show they're just waiting for me. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm keen. But then the promoter's like, nah, we gotta, no.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna jeopardize our company. I was like, in my head, I'm like, fuck the company. Fuck if they want a 1 ounce, bro, yeah, I'm keen for 1 ounce. But they're like, no, King, just grab your bag, go to the back. I'm like, fuck, just go, King. I'll fucking bring my money then. So get paid, go to the back, go wait at the van. When I'm in the van, bro, I gotta lie down. So like, all the boys will be in the van. And I'm the one, like, I have to lie on the floor. So all the boys, this is how you normally sit. And then when I'm on the floor, they're like this. So all their feet are on my back. And I'm like, are we clear? Like, yeah, no, we're not clear yet. I'm like, fuck. Bro, we've been driving for like 20 minutes, bro. No, we're not clear. I'm like, fucking get off me, cunt.
I watched the, is it Austin Theory? Is it Austin Theory, the wrestler that's wrestling now? I watched a doco of him, how before he made it big, he was wrestling in the promotion stuff. Trying to get up there.
The independence.
He was, but that's before he. Now I see him. Now he's in the WWE.
Yeah.
Like, so were you wrestling in that?
That was me. Like in the independent circuit. Like,
man.
Doing your hard yards. It's the same like with footy. Like you play your club footy, then you play your rep footy before you get scouted. Yeah. So it's the same thing with like with pro wrestling. You pay your dues with every promotion that books you. So you start off as a rookie. So when you come into the first thing you come into the business is you start off as a rookie, and it's kind of like being a bum boy. So all the vets, they've been there way before you. Like if they want a feed, where you go buy them a feed. You're the first one there to set up the ring. You're the last one because you got to set the ring down.
Oh yeah.
So you're the first one there, last one out.
Is this here in IPW or?
In any promotion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, so you pay your dues. When you do get your debut match, you don't win. You get a fucking hiding. Your match will probably be like 5 minutes or 3 minutes. It's called a squash match. So the only job you have to do is make the other guy look good. So you're just a ragdoll. The guy will just do like all these moves, power moves here and there, and maybe you have like maybe one move, maybe just a punch or a kick, and then the guy will beat you up again, pin 1, 2, 3. So sometimes when these rookies come through and they get their debut, they think, oh yo, this is my shine. This is my time to shine. But really, it's you coming through to wrestling, but then it's like another step after being a rookie, like after doing the bum boy jobs. Now you become like this ragdoll, and then you start paying your dues through that. It doesn't matter how long. It could be like a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. But at the same time, you start honing on your craft. So when I came into pro wrestling, it was a balangi sport. Like there was hardly any brown boys.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh shit! I would say like close to 12 years.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And were you living here?
Over here, yeah. So, because I made the transition from MMA, so I was doing cage fighting for a couple of years, and then I wanted to tick pro wrestling off my bucket list. I mean, because like every Islander's born with like watching wrestling and mum and dad putting it on the tape.
Yeah.
Press record, go to sleep, wake up, press play. Yeah. Every Islander wanted to be a pro wrestler or at least try it out. So I wanted to. That was like at the top of my list. So yeah, I'll see what pro wrestling can do for me. Even if I don't make it, as long as I tick it off,
Give it a go.
Yeah. So like out of 15 for the trial, I was the only one that made it, and I was like, oh fuck. And then the promoter was like, yeah, because you got a look that's not in at the moment. Because when I came through to wrestling, I was already heavily tatted up, and not many Polynesian boys were heavily tatted up.
Yeah.
To be like from head to toe, and they were like, "Oh yeah, bro, like you got like the it factor, but the only thing you need to work on, bro, is your fitness, bro. You're fucking, but you got the image, bro, like the wow factor. It's just you need to sharpen up on your fitness." I'm like, bro, as long as I got a chance, bro, then it's all good with me. They're like, yeah, you got a chance, bro, but just whatever you're fucking doing, bro, like you need to train hard, bro. But the image is there, bro. Like we need that. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So what was this organization?
This was with IPW at the time. So when I first came through, I went through IPW. I got the green light, but then I just felt what do you call it? Like a little chip on my shoulder. So just because I got like, oh yeah, bro, I got the image for wrestling. I'm the it factor. So I started slacking down a bit. Plus, when I came through, I was like 19, 20 years old. So I was still a youngin', man.
Yeah.
I was still like my mind state was like, oh fuck, I'm still young. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But I think with IPW at the time, like they wanted to capture their image and use it. But then with me, I was like, oh fuck, it's just what do you call it? Come and go kind of thing for me. Yeah. So
just
then,
like a hobby or something.
Yeah, it was like a hobby. It was just like an adrenaline rush. I just wanted to get that fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I've been in a pro wrestling ring. Yeah, they think I'm good enough. But then when it came down to the training, bro, I was like, fuck. I think the training was what got me, because it's not your typical fitness training.
Yeah.
So I took the training for granted. I thought like going for walks or like jogging around the block, that's enough training.
So what kind of training was it?
So it's called ring run. Like you got your typical ring, 4 corners, and you got like 2 guys in the ring, but they're running opposite ways. So one running up and down, one running side to side, and then the promoter will say down. So the first one to go down, you got to jump over, and then that guy comes back up, runs, and you got keep doing your
like doing drills, eh?
Yeah, it's like drills, yeah.
In the ring.
And then there'll be one drill, and then the next drill will be like there's a way to eliminate yourself over the top rope. There's a technique to it. So you got to do that. When you get on the apron, you got to run to the wall, come back, slide in, run up and down, stop in the middle, run sideways, stop, run up and down, and then eliminate yourself. Do the same thing.
All in one go?
In one go, yeah. So that's one set, and then the next guy goes through. And then that's one set,
shit.
and the next guy goes through. So sometimes it'll be cool if there's like more than 10 of us training. I'm like, yeah, get a decent break.
Yeah.
But then when it's only like 4 of us, we're like, slow down. When it's your turn, just slow down.
So that sort of put you off a little bit, like.
Yeah, because I was never a good when it came to training, bro. I just hated training. But like when it came to putting on a show or like doing something where it involves me and an opponent putting on a match, bro, that's when I shine. I'm like, yeah, bro, I can do this, do that. It seems like when you watch me do that, like doing mock matches, it's just like a match during your training session. So I'll do that, and it looks like I've been training for years. But it's just that I'm just hyped. But after the hype comes down, bro, I'm like,
fooled me, bro.
Start swearing. I start sweating harder. And then it comes to training, I'm like, fuck, man, I can't. I don't want to do it. And then I just lost the passion or the drive to be a wrestler. So then I just started like missing training. Like, I'll miss one day.
Yeah.
Then the next week I'll miss maybe 2 days. Then it'll slowly go down to like missing every day and missing 1 week, and then to like not getting a phone, not getting a text anymore. So I'm like, oh fuck, I don't care. So I went back to MMA, went back to crump dancing, went back to footy, and then I think after doing all those things, and then all my mates started doing their own thing as well, and like playing footy or doing MMA. I just with pro wrestling was in the back of my mind, like maybe I should give it a go and actually give it a go this time. Yeah. So I was doing all those sports, bro, but pro wrestling was still in the back of my mind. So I already knew, like, I burnt that bridge with IPW. So I look like a dick if I come back like maybe a year later, 2 years later. I'm like, oh, I want to come back. But like if it's like if you do that, bro, you gotta start all the way from the bottom, bro. Like, cause that's the bridge that you already burnt. Yeah. So you gotta start back all over again. Even though I got the green light from that company, it still doesn't change the fact that I left without telling them why I left. Yeah. So instead of going to that company, I went and branched off to another one, and there was a company out on Sandringham, out west. Yeah. It was called Maniacs United. And they were just a small company. It wasn't big like IPW at that time. So I wanted to go through there. So actually knuckled down on my craft. Actually pay attention to how to do things, how to do certain holds, like all the
be serious,
like actually be serious with it. Yeah. So then I stayed with Maniacs United. And I made my debut within my first rookie year. So at that time, man, it was hardly any wrestlers in that company. So I had to play like 3 different characters.
Oh, gee.
Yeah,
oh,
man. So I'll play the character that I was at the time. I was like a rip-off Jeff Hardy, bro. So I'll wear the skins and everything like that, and I'll do my hairstyle like him and like have the tiger stripes and all that. So I have all that. And then like my promoter at with that company, she was like, you do know you're like a rip-off Jeff Hardy? I'm like, you know, because I'm a wrestling vet, you know, like I know when you walk in like that, I'm like, the way you act, the way you hold yourself, the way you do your moves, you're imitating Jeff Hardy. I was like, fuck. Even your finishing move was a bloody a swanton bomb. I was like, fuck. She was like, they were like, yeah, you can hold on to that, like just for your first rookie year, but then after that year, bro, you gotta, what do you call it? Come up with a character that separates you from everybody else, like in the wrestling game. So yeah, I had that character, and I had another character. His name was Rise, and Rise was he was a waste of time, man. It was I had to wear like a full body suit. It was a black full body suit, bro, all the way up to the head, wearing MMA gloves and white chucks, bro. So
no one could see your face.
So no one can see my face. Yeah. That was one gimmick, and then another gimmick. I forgot his name, but I had to wear like a Rey Mysterio mask.
Oh yeah.
So I wore like a mask, everything like that. I changed my whole all 3 characters had different moves, different way of wrestling. But sometimes like I'll forget that I'm not Kingston Eclipse, that I'm Rise, and I'll start doing Kingston Eclipse moves. And then some of the fans are like, hey, that's so it was good because it opened my mind to like creativity with wrestling, playing back and forth with different characters, like persona wise and stuff like that. And it was a good test of my my stamina, because I had to play like 3 different characters, 3 different matches, one after the other.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'll be doing a match with one guy, and then I'll finish the match, come backstage, and then another guy's like, "Oh, you ready?" I'm like, "Fuck, hang on, I gotta put the bodysuit on."
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of cool at the same time. Like that was like the grassroots for me with pro wrestling. That was the fun years for me.
Yeah.
I didn't care about like pursuing wrestling, or I didn't care about like wrestling for different kind of companies. I just did it because I loved it.
Yeah. It's your passion.
Yeah, it was just to have fun. But then maybe like many years later after that, maybe 5-6 years later, my old man finally came. I finally invited my old man to come to my wrestling show. But he was so adamant, and like he was like, "You went from real fighting to the fake fighting." I was like, "But you don't understand."
Yeah. No, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. So I told him like, "Hey Dad, like I got a show. I forgot where it was, but I gave him the address and everything like that. I was like, you can come down if you want. It'll be cool if you did, but if you can't, bro, it's all good, man." And then I went back home because I wasn't staying with my parents at the time. It was just me and my wife at the time. Like we were still dating, so we had our apartment. And then I went back home, woke up the next day, went straight to the venue to set up and everything like that, get a whole feel of the venue. And then when it came to the doors opening for the show, I think it was like around 6:30 or 7 o'clock, and I'm the first one like behind the curtains, like opening like a little bit just to see like who turned up to the show. And like I was like near the main, I think I was semi-main event, so I was like the second to last match before the actual main event. And then I think the match before me, they're doing their match, and then I'm backstage again opening the curtain. I'm like, "Fuck, bro, my dad's not even here." Yeah, it wasn't until I actually stepped out and
You saw him.
I saw him because I was still playing that bloody Jeff Hardy gimmick.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I was
yeah.
playing that, like, I came out, bro, and then my dad was right there, like, because the way he looks is exactly how I look. Like, we suffer from fucking RBF. It means like we suffer from wrestling bitch face. So we look like this every day. Yeah. So as soon as I came out and then I saw my dad, I was like, "Fuck, yeah, he's here." So I'm on a high, like I'm pumped. So I'm doing my match, bro. I'm on a adrenaline rush. I win my match. Go up on like your normal what you see on TV, like the wrestlers going up on the turnbuckle, yeah, doing their victory lap and all that kind of stuff. And I did all of that. Came backstage. I'm still on a high. And then when it came to when the show was finished, and then you have your fan interactions.
Oh yeah.
So like, cause I'm the good guy, like it's all the good guys. They all go out and go interact with their fans, get a photos, sign autographs, and all that kind of stuff. So I went out and then I saw my dad. So I made a beeline to my dad because he's my worst critic.
Yeah.
And then I made a beeline to him. Then I gave him a hug, gave my mum and them a hug, my brothers and them, my siblings, gave them a hug and kiss. And then I went to my dad. I was like, "So what do you think?" He was like, "Come over home tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh yeah, all good, sweet." So I'm on a high then. And then came the next day. I went straight to my parents' house. Then my dad, he was like, "Oh, come outside." So we went outside on the bench. "You want a beer?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll have a beer." So we were having a drink. And he was like, Who was Kingston Eclipse?" Okay, "He's a wrestler." He's like, "Nah, your character." Okay, "What? Your character?" Like, there was a character in the wrestling. He's like the moldy warrior, because I can see he's got the moldy patterns on the face. He comes out with the moldy designs on his costume. They see, I know him. I don't have to know his name, but I know he identifies like a moldy character, moldy, like a mana. I go, "Okay, who's the other guy?" The other guy come out with the towel. Okay, yeah. And see, I know him. He's like a sexy boy, like a sexy man. He's got a nice body. Okay, yeah. See, that's his character. He's a sexy. I don't care about the wrestling, the moves, but the character. I go, "Okay, and so who's Kingston Eclipse then?" I go, "Oh, now we have to break it all down now. So like the gimmick that I had, it was like I told him I was like, oh, it's like Jeff Hardy. He was like, who's Jeff Hardy? Okay, or like like parkour. Like, who's that? Okay, nah, it's like like free running, jumping here, jumping there. He's like, but I didn't see any jumping in the ring. He's like, nah, you don't do that. Nah, we have to strip the character that you have. I'm gonna strip it all down. You can keep the name. It's up to you if you want to keep it or not. But like the whole wrestling persona, the character, gonna strip it down. I was like, fuck, bro. So when I went to my parents' house, I was on a high. And when he said that, bro, I'm like, oh. I'm like, bro, I didn't even want to listen anymore.
Did he want to make it more like a island wrestler?
No, I think your old man understood the story behind
I think
character.
it was characters because my dad he grew up in the golden era of pro wrestling, like with the Hulk Hogan's and the Barber, Brutus
Beefcake. Yeah.
So all these characters like the Ultimate Warriors, like each wrestler had their own character, but that's what made them stood out. So then he was adamant with that. So then he was like, oh, you say you're from Home of the Brave, right? Otara. Okay, yeah. We'll circle the name Brave. What's a brave? And then I was like, oh, fuck, it's a word. Like, nah, what's the first thing come to your mind when you see the word brave? And then the first thing that came to mind was Native Americans, like the American Indians. I was like, okay, yeah. Do you have any interest in like any games or any other hobbies? I was like what? What do you mean? Like, I'm like, do you play PS5 or PlayStation, whatever? I was like, yeah, I'll play PlayStation. Like, well, what's your favorite game then? I go, Mortal Kombat. Like, okay, yeah. You know your Mortal Kombat? Like, yeah. What's the fighter or the character you always pick for the fight? And I was like, oh, either Scorpion or Sub-Zero. You're like, okay, now your costume will be like kind of like the same, similar. Okay. So they were like martial arts kind of thing. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you use your MMA, what you learned from like Muay Thai and kickboxing, use that into pro wrestling, but don't knock them out, but make it look like it's like real. Okay, cool. And he goes, okay, now the word brave, Home of the Brave. Okay, yeah. You gonna keep your hair like that or what? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep my hair like that because at the time I had it was like you know when you first start growing your hair and it's at the ugly stage. Yeah. I was at the ugly stage of that, and then it was blonde, and he looked at me and was like, yeah, your hair. I never see like a Mortal Kombat or a hair like that. I'm like, fuck. Well, what are you gonna do? You gonna keep it like that or you gonna what? I was like, I don't know. I'll let you know. He's like, okay, yeah. So then I think I stopped wrestling for a whole year. Trying to hone on a character. So I'll still do my pro wrestling trainings and everything like that. But when it came to shows, I'm like, nah, I'm not wrestling. They're like, what? Yeah, nah, I'm not wrestling. Oh, we need Kingston Eclipse. I get, yeah, but he's still on the back burner. Yeah. So like every training I'll do, then I'll go back home to my dad, just trying to do some more homework on Kingston Eclipse, the character. And then back then the mullets they weren't as popular as it is now. Yeah. So like when I was just watching Native American, watching like the Last of the Mohegans and all these other Native American kind of movies or like looking it up on YouTube, and I saw their hairstyle was a bit different. Some will have like a mohawk, but real like zero like skin cut. Then I was like, oh, maybe I'll just I'll skin my whole head, but I'll keep the fluff at the back. So then when I did that, then my wife looked at me. She's like, "You better, like if we're going out in public, you better put a beanie on or something. You can do that for your wrestling, but I'm not gonna be holding your hand like that." I'm like, "Fuck, it's only for wrestling." So when I did the hairstyle and I came back to my dad goes, "Solly, what's that?" I go, "Yeah, I'm going like this." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I go, "Yeah." Okay, now put your costume on then. So I put the costume on. By the time had long sleeves. It was long sleeve, and it was a flap at the front and a flap at the back. And he was like, "Nah, cut the sleeves off." So I cut the sleeves off, and he's like, "Nah, and take the top off, take it off." So I took it off, and I'm just standing there with like a flap in the front and a flap at the back. He was like, "Oh yeah, do you wear face paint or anything?" I go, "Nah." He was like, "Oh, maybe put some face paint." So I went back, grabbed the face paint, came back a couple of days later, put the face paint on and everything like that, and he looked at me and was like, "Oh yeah, so you've been doing your like, have you been changing the way you wrestle?" I go, "I haven't wrestled for a whole year." Like, hey, I made a choice to stop for a whole year so I can knuckle down on this character. And then for like a whole year, we're just trying to go with a Undertaker kind of presence. Like you can, like, Undertaker, he's a good guy, but he's not your typical good guy.
Yeah.
Like you see all these wrestlers, like they come on and clapping everybody's hand, but then when you see Undertaker, like, oh bro, don't fuck with Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like he's got that staunch kind of presence. So I was trying to not copy, but like try and have something similar to Undertaker.
Same vibe.
Yeah, the same kind of vibe, yeah. So like instead of like shaking everybody's hands, bro, I'll just walk out like real staunch. And when the fans would try and shake my hand, I'll just be like, "Oh, fist bump."
Oh, yeah,
but I won't show any emotions. So all the kids were like this. But then my dad was like, "That was good, but like you making your fans scared of you." I go, "Why?" Because the kids are happy like this, waiting for your hands, to smack their hand, but you're doing this, and you're not saying
straight
anything.
face.
Yeah, and the kids are like, "Oh, and then for like that whole year, honing down the character, honing down the different style of wrestling. And then when that year was up, and then we put that character to play. We put it into play. So I came back into doing a show. And then
did you change your name or still
I kept it. Yeah, so I kept Kingston Eclipse. I kept the hometown, like Home of the Brave. But instead of walking out with the old gimmick, I came out as a brand new Kingston Eclipse. So when I walked out, then I didn't know if people were gonna accept it or not. So I just walked out like, "Fuck it, bro. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it." So I went out, did the show. No, everything was totally different, bro. The way I wrestled, the way I presented myself. And then I didn't know, like, there was a promoter at the show watching, and then he was from Whangarei. And then after the show, he went to the promoter that I was wrestling for, and said, "Yeah, we want Kingston Eclipse to come wrestle for us in Whangarei. There's a show." So then, when the promoter said that to me, I was like, "Fuck, that's the first time someone actually took interest in this Kingston Eclipse." Because in my rookie year, I was just wrestling Auckland. So when I finally got like someone from Whangarei, because I've never been to Whangarei. Like when I was a youngin', like I've never been there. I've only been to Auckland, and then it was a great buzz because I told my dad straight after, bro. Like my mum and my siblings, they were like, "Oh, how's the show?" I was like, "Fuck, it was all good. Where's dad?" So my dad came. I was like, "Oh, fuck, we're going to Whangarei." I was like, "What?" Yeah, Kingston Eclipse, this going to Whangarei. He's like, "See, I told you." I was like, fuck.
Yeah, true.
I told you. I was like, "Fuck." Yeah.
Did you ever think like that 1 year of taking off to work on the character, led up to that moment that promoter saw you? Like, did you ever think that, man, all this hard work I did, this is why I'm going up there?
I think at times, I think I was, I just started believing in that character. I think with some of these wrestlers, where like they're so generic. Everybody wrestles the same. Everybody comes off as the same kind of vibe, but you need a X factor. So with me, I took a risk, changing everything, changing the way I talk, the way I hairstyle, everything. So I took that risk, not knowing if it's gonna benefit or not. But I did it just for the love of wrestling, and I did it just to pay homage to my old man. And I slowly started believing in that character within that 1 year. So like when my dad first stripped everything down and playing with all these ideas, I was just like, oh fuck, I just want to be me. I just want to be me. But then within that year, bro, I started believing in the character, believing in this hard work that we've done. And then like when it finally came out into fruition, and then it was like it's a hard work from my end, but I also it's hard work from my old man too, because without him and me taking that risk, I wouldn't have done all these things that I've done. So when people ask me like, where did that Kingston clips come from, the same story I'm telling you guys is the same story I tell everybody, and I'll never get sick and tired of saying it. And my dad, bro, he still got a fucking big head, bro, whenever I say it.
Do you think, Kingston, from day one, do you think you should have went to your dad from
day one? No, nah, because I knew my dad, bro. Like he was excited, bro, when I was doing MMA.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, but he'll never come to the fights because, like, with MMA, like it's not based on age, it's on weight. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, so
if I weigh a certain weight and another guy that's like maybe 10 years older than me, but we weigh the same weight, that's still a good fight.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So then when my dad, when it came to the fights, my dad would be like, oh, who you fighting? Oh, this guy. Sorry, he's older. Okay, yeah, but with the same weight. Sorry, you better not come back with him. So sometimes, bro, I'll come home after the fights, bro. I'll probably like go to Mama Nim's for Gongati, but I got glasses on. Then my dad would like, sorry, take your glasses off. I'm like, yeah, but like but when it came to wrestling, that was just me. I wanted to, that was me of trying to like do my own thing. But I think I'm kind of glad that I invited my dad to come to that show.
Yeah.
Because I think like if he didn't come here, I'll still treat wrestling like for how I treated it many years ago. It was just for fun. I just did it for a laugh. So I think if my dad never came to that show and never given me that 1 year to hone on that character, I wouldn't have gone to these countries or gone to Japan or Australia.
Is it the character and you got the face paint and you got the eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you see pictures of when I first came into wrestling, bro, I was a real skinny boy with blonde hair. Whatever you see in Jeff Hardy was like a Polynesian version of that. Yeah, so that was me, man, when I first came out.
You know when your dad said, man, why'd you go from real fighting to fake?
Yeah.
When he said that, it reminded me of because we had an episode when Jamie Tunga's essay, he came on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And he talked about the difference between the sport, real sport, and wrestling. He talked about wrestling as entertainment, purely entertainment. It's the story, and it's like a drama, opera.
Yeah.
Like a soap opera.
Yeah, it's like watching a movie. Like,
Yeah.
Like the bad guy and the good guy in here and there.
Yeah. And all the characters and the storylines that come into it. It's purely entertainment. And I think as Anders growing up with wrestling, remember Superstars of Wrestling?
Yeah, bro. I love wrestling.
Remember those back in those days? Like as a kid, I remember, man, this is so like we didn't know because we were young. We thought it was real until and then later on, like, what? It's fake. What? And like we just get real. I'm disappointed, because we find out it's not real. It's like
it is real, man. Come on.
But just how Jamie was explaining it, like the pure entertainment side of it.
Yeah,
it is, man.
Yeah, it is,
and this is why we like that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's the masculinity, but plus it's the drama behind everything.
Yeah, it's like with Polynesians, bro, like we're the most natural born actors out there. Like we act scared when we're getting our fucking hiding from mum and dad. Like we trying hard like to cry as loud as we can so we don't get that extra slap. Yeah. So when I was coming through to wrestling, bro, I was shocked because I was like, say, in amongst of Balangi boys, there was only like 3 or 4 Polynesians. But every now and then, bro, like those Polynesians they were like me, would drift apart and then come back.
Yeah.
But it was dominantly like a Balangi sport. So like when we started coming through and actually what do you call it? taking it serious, like, because pro wrestling in New Zealand, it's when we were coming through, it was laughed at. It was no one considered it as a sport.
Yeah.
Everybody like what you were saying, like it's fake fighting. So sometimes when I say I'm a pro wrestler, I take it with a grain of salt at that time, because I know the reaction I'm gonna get when I tell them like, oh yeah, bro, I play sports. Oh, what is it? Oh, pro wrestling. They're like, sorry, that's fake.
Yeah.
You know,
This people's opinion on that stuff.
Yeah.
But unless they've never put on the shoes, you know, they've never actually done it. Then
because you can't deny it's entertainment. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So like with the Western style of wrestling, like you can see like when they're doing their striking, you can see it, like it's plain and like right in front of your eyes. Like when they strike, they make that stomp noise. So you can see it. So like with the character that I had, bro, I was doing that style, like stomping with the foot, making that impact noise. So what I was wrestling like that as Kingston Eclipse with that style, and then an opportunity popped up within like maybe 2 years of me carrying that character. Shelton Benjamin was holding like a wrestling training seminar.
Wow!
But it was out in he made the trip from America to Sydney, and it was during the Waitangi weekend. And like
they invited you.
Nah, I invited myself.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey,
like,
that's still opportunity. Yeah, you know.
Like there was an open invitation to any wrestler.
Oh, okay.
But because it was in Australia, it was only targeted to Australians. But because like I'm always on the internet, like fucking what's the next looking at different styles from different wrestlers, like even like overseas, just trying to pick up on what they have so I can put it in with what I have. And then I came across this post where like they're doing a training seminar with Shelton Benjamin.
Bruh.
I was like, fuck. So I got the contact details for that promoter. Like I couldn't afford like calling up, bro. So I called him. Calling. Oh, hey, bro. I'm interested in that training seminar, but because he didn't know who I was, he thought I was just like a random cunt. And then, so I sent him all my videos, all my promo shots, like in character, photos and everything like that. So I sent all that through just to tell him that like I'm a legit wrestler from New Zealand. I'm not just some random fan that just wants to fly over, get a handshake in it. And then he looked at everything. He's like, oh yeah. So where you from? I go, I'm from New Zealand. You know the seminars in Australia? I'm like, yeah, but I'm still keen to come, like, fly over. But then, like, when I booked the tickets, bro, I was like, fuck, I forgot it's Waitangi weekend, so it's gonna be expensive.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, bro. It's like I only get one shot. Yeah. So I booked it. Went to Sydney. Went and did the training seminar, which was like maybe I think 4 to 5 hours. I think it was. And then he was so adamant on like storytelling. What do you call it? Storytelling. He was big on characters as well. So when it came to the training part with the fitness and everything like that, I was like, bro, I got this, bro, because I've been training my ass off. Yeah. I wasn't like how I was when I first came in. So I was just training hard out. And when it came to the like doing the ring runs and everything, I was like, fucking easy.
Oh man,
easy. Yeah. I think I was doing the trainings and everything like that, picking up on little subtle things that he'll do in his matches. And he said like it's the certain move that you'll take for granted, like a body slam. You can work that throughout a whole match. So I was like, bro, what are you on about? He was like, it could be like you can play it like a David and Goliath kind of match, like the big guy versus the small guy. So you got me, because I was small, and Shelton Benjamin, he's a big unit. Yeah. He's like, say like for example, you and me, I'm Goliath and you're David. Okay. And we're gonna tease this move, and it's a body slam. It's everybody takes their body slam for granted, right? It's just pick up, slam. Okay, yep. But we're gonna work with it. We're gonna play a story. Okay, hey, what the fuck? whatever, bro, because you've been there, done this.
Yeah.
So I'll listen. So he was like, okay, so the first attempt, you're gonna try and body slam me, but because I'm so big, I'll just knock you right down, and then he'll beat me up. Then I'll do my comeback, beat him up again, get my fighting spirit. Then he come to me, I'll do a second attempt. Then because he's been beating up my back so much, I gotta sell the back. You lift him up. Fuck.
Yeah.
Then he'll start attacking my lower back again, and then it'll come to that last point, bro, where he's about to do his finishing move on me. And then for some strange reason, bro, I got a burst of energy. I'm like, fuck this, nah, bang, 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 bang. Throw him off on the ropes. Bang, 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 bang. He'll try and pick me up again, but he'll pick me up. I'll slide at the back, turn him around, and I'm like, fuck this, bro. Then pick him up. Shit, bang, and then I slam him. Then when I slam him down, the whole vibe will pick up. Oh, fuck, you finally did it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, bang, fucking, I'll be shocked too. And then he was like, see how much of a difference that one move can make in one storyline? You just take one move and you just play with it. And then from that point, like, I was still waiting for the end of the match. I was like, bro, I want to pin you. You're like, no, that's it, bro. Like, that's all you need to do, bro. It's just storytelling. You can do all your flippity floppy moves, all that, but he was so he was so like adamant with storytelling, telling a story with the match. He said there's nothing wrong with doing your high risk moves and your out the gate kind of fucking moves. But if you take your audience for a story, the end result will be a good one.
Yeah.
Because they're expecting you to win or they're expecting you to lose, rather than like doing all these high flying flippity moves, bro. There's no longevity in that. I mean, like the longer you wrestle, bro, like are you still gonna be doing those backflips? Or are you still gonna be doing those triple backflips into a front flip, all this kind of stuff? Yeah.
Did you actually wrestle with Shelton Benjamin?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
He's still, because I still watch wrestling, okay? So he wrestled on the weekend, like in WWE.
Yeah.
He was on the tag team. Oh, this other black guy, But yeah, he's still wrestling, man.
It was weird because after that training seminar, I flew back home, but before I flew back, he was like, "Oh, what's your email address? I'll keep in touch." In my head, I was like, "Bro, you probably say this to every Tom, Dick, and Harry at every seminar." So I was like, "Yeah." So I gave him my email, and I was like, "Yo, nice to learn a lot of things from you. Thank you for the opportunity." And then I kept it. And then when I flew back home, I was just thinking nothing of it. Then I get a ping. I'm like, "Hey, what the fuck?" I had a look. It was from the promoter that was holding that training seminar. I was like, "Ugh, fuck, all good." So I just took nothing of it. I didn't. I was like, "Oh fuck." He probably emailed me by mistake because I'm nothing to him. I don't know him. And then like I think 2 days later, it was like, "Bring another
Email.
notification." I had a look, bro. It was like those forward emails. Like he must have sent it twice. I was like, "Fuck." So I opened it, and he was like, "Hey, Shelton Benjamin really likes what you had, and he enjoyed the way you're like a sponge, bro. You just soaked up every knowledge."
Yeah.
And he's asking if you're willing to take pro wrestling to the next level, like if you wanna go the next step. I was like, "Oh, bro, he probably says that to everybody, bro." Like me, I'm not falling for it, man. Like nah, man. Like, are you actually serious? Like, yeah. Like, I can give you Shelton Benjamin's email if you want. I was like, nah, just tell him, yeah. I told the promoter, nah, tell Shelton Benjamin that, yeah, I'm interested in going to the next level. But then I was like, oh, fuck it, it probably won't go through. So I was like, yeah, I'm interested. Then I'll go back to doing my job. Then, bring, yep. Shelton Benjamin said, he's giving you three companies to choose from. I go, oh yeah, what's that? He's like, oh, do you have what do you call it? I think it was like FaceTime. Like, do you have FaceTime? Like you and Shelton Benjamin can like video chat. I'm like, fuck. Hey, what? And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. We set everything up. And then Shelton Benjamin called.
Shit.
He called, and then I think me and my wife were in the room. And then he was like, oh, hey, bro, are you someone? I was like, yeah, I'm someone. He's like, oh, yeah, you can call me the Black Oos. I go, what? What? The Black Oos? Like, yeah. You know Umanga? I go, yeah, I know Umanga. Like, yeah, well, funny story because Shelton Benjamin and Umanga, they were best of friends. They were like the closest friends.
Wow.
They were so close that like they became neighbors. Like Umanga will live here, and then Shelton Benjamin will buy the house next door, and they became so tight. So he was like, yeah, bro, so like, just call me the Black Oos. All the Samoans in WWE, they call me Black Oos. But I'm not WWE. I'm just a random Samoan from New Zealand. They're like, yeah, but Oos, all good. Like,
Wow. Oh, he's down to earth, eh?
Yeah. So then he was like, yeah, bro, I've given you 3 companies. Ring of Honor at the time. It was Ring of Honor, Booker T's promotion, Reality of Wrestling, or go to Japan and wrestle for Pro Wrestling Noah. And I think at that time, Shelton Benjamin, he wasn't with WWE. He was with, I think, Pro Wrestling Noah. And I was like, oh, bro, there's a 3 options, bro. They're too big for me, bro. Like, I've never had that opportunity before. And I was like, well, what's the best option, like, from your standpoint? Like, I reckon I'll take you under my wing, bro, and we'll go to Japan. I was like,
what?
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, bro, are you serious, bro? And he was like, yeah. Bro, like, I'll set something up at the office in Japan, but you just wait for my.
What year was it?
I think it was. What year was that? It was early 2014, I think. I think 14. Yeah. It was somewhere there, early in the year, and then he was like, oh, just wait for my call back or wait for me to message you back, and I was like, okay, yeah. Then my feet started being like this.
Shit. How are you feeling, bro? I would have been like,
bro, I had a sweaty bum crack, bro. Sweaty bum crack, sweaty toes, bro, sweaty everything. Man, I was like, fuck. And then I looked at my message, and she was like, you finally did it, eh? I was like, fuck. I think I'm actually gonna get paid, bro, to wrestle. And then when I got the call up, like I think it was at the end of that month, I think it was, or like 4 weeks, and then he called me back. Like, yeah, bro, I set you up for Pro Wrestling Noah. When you fly in, I'm gonna be finishing a tour, so I'm flying back to America for like 2 weeks. So like, just make yourself at home at the dojo, and wait for me to come back, and then I'll take you out. We'll go here and there. I was like, solid. I don't even know you, but you wanna take me out here and there. I was like, fuck,
man.
Yeah, man. It was flying over to Japan, bro. It was like a.
What was it like performing, like wrestling over there?
In Japan, man, it was a total different vibe. I think I'm used to like a hype crowd, like especially with New Zealand and Australia. Like I'm used to getting like like all these F-bombs here and there, and like all these live interactions. But when I debuted in Japan, and the audience, bro, they were just so quiet. I would be like the character that I had, like the Kingston Eclipse, Home of the Brave character. I'm still using that character, and I'm coming out to Japan, and then I'll do a move, but then like I'm used to like a it's called a pop, like a reaction, like like everyone's like shouting and everything like that. But when I do a move, all I hear is clapping. They're just clapping.
Yeah.
And then they'll stop, and I was like, the fuck, bro? Like, am I not that good? So it started playing with my mind, man. Like,
but it's the way they are.
Because they treat. What I learned was that with the difference between like Western style of wrestling and Japanese style of wrestling was like Western, they're more like the entertainment kind of wrestling, like just all for the show and stuff like that. But with Japanese wrestling, they treat it like it's another form of martial art. So every strike, it has to be hard. that's where I learned there was a style there called Japanese strong style. So that's where everything's so hard hitting. When you do your kicks, you actually kick the fuck out of your opponent.
Shit. Yeah.
When it comes to like striking, you actually strike your opponent. So when I made my debut into Japan, I was wrestling like Western style.
Yeah.
So like I made my debut, then went backstage and went to the top promoter, like the booker for Pro Wrestling Noah, and he was like, Kingston-san. Okay, yep, come. So I went and he's like, your style? Okay, yep. Very gay. I was like, what? Very gay. I was like, fuck.
Because you're not used to that, eh?
Yeah, because I wasn't used to, like, so when I was wrestling, when I made my debut and they were kicking me like that, I was like, what the fuck is wrestling, bro? So they were kicking me, what the fuck? I'm used to like I wouldn't say Western style was more soft, but I was used to that style.
Yeah.
So when I made the move to Japan and they did all this hard impact, I was like, did I do something wrong, bro? Do you not want me at this company? But yeah, it was the booker. He was like, oh, yeah, your style is very gay. And I was like, bro, what do you mean? He's like, fake. It looks fake. Okay, fuck you. Tomorrow training upstairs. Okay. So I'll go to sleep. Wake up the next day, bro, because the dojo that I was at, it was like, there was 3 floors. So ground floor is where we all sleep, so us and the dojo boys. And then the middle floor was like, that's the office. So you want to chill out, Wi-Fi and everything like that. And then upstairs is the is the gym. So the next day, bro, I'll go to the gym. And the booker is there and he's like, okay, in the ring. So I go in the ring. He was like, pick a corner. So okay, so I'll pick a corner. Yeah, go to the corner. So I go to the corner and he was like, slap. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, slap. Like a wrestling slap. Yeah, like a wrestling slap. Okay, so I'll slap. He was like, see, gay. I'm like, yo, slap. Yeah, that's good. But what's this hand? What's this doing? You putting your hand on your thigh and you're slapping. It looks gay. Okay. Make it like it's a strike. Okay, what do you mean? You put the hand up. Okay, yep. He said, put the hand up like you're blocking something. So you block. Okay, yep. And now do your slap. So I slap. He's like, see, looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, so go slap. Okay, what? Go slap. Bang again. I'm like, fuck. Again till I say stop. I'm like, fuck, so I'm doing this the whole time. And then I was like, bro, my hand's getting sore. I mean, okay, other side. I'm like, fuck. Do the other side.
This kickboxer styles.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was like, I think he actually tried to break me down, like how my dad broke me down with the character.
Yeah.
And like, because I was going to the next level, which is Japanese pro wrestling, and I got to break down what I learned from the years in New Zealand and try and emulate or try and hone in this new style of wrestling, which is strong style. So I just started, I think MMA kicked in, like all my years of training with MMA.
Right.
So when you say like everything has to be a strike or like another form of striking, that's when my MMA hat came on.
Yeah.
And I just said, so this is like striking, boxing, everything like that. Yeah, and then for the time that I was in Japan, and then when I came back home, I brought the style back. But I think New Zealand wasn't ready for that style. So I came back and then
they sent you back.
I came back and I was like, I was already booked for my return match with the company that took me in. So when I was doing my match, and everybody was like, what happened to you in Japan? Okay, what do you mean? Does that guy, do you not like him? Okay, no, malice, no envy, whatever, nothing. Like, no, because we come back different. Like, what do you mean? Like, you want to give everybody a hiding? Okay, no, this is a style I learned in Japan. And then I'll try and get booked in Auckland or like anywhere in New Zealand with that style, because it was brand new, Japanese strong style. Like no one, I think people knew about the style, but they never used it in their shows. So when I brought the style back to NZ for so many, I think for out there 1 year or 2 years, I just never got booked because they all think like I got a vendetta against everybody, or like I'm just a prick, like just because I made it to Japan. I come back here, I'm like, fuck, no, not these cunts. And I was like, bro, nah.
That's how you wrestle. That's
it's just a newfound way of wrestling now for me. It's like I've drifted from Western style to Japanese strong style.
Do you think everyone should have adapted, like changed to that? Your style now, or?
I think they are now like adapting to the new Japanese strong style of wrestling because it's so popular now. But I think it's kind of like, you know, with Boya Tribe, when Boya Tribe trying to bring in like a clash of rap and rock, but at that era, at that time, no one was ready for it. But then now when you hear it now, bro, like the clash between the two genres, where it's popular now. So I think with me, when I'm trying to bring the Japanese strong style to NZ at that time, people just weren't ready for it. Like I think I bought it at a wrong time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you know when you're over there, Kingston? Did you know there's a Tox Fale?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
He wasn't he like a big in Japan?
Because his promotion is New Japan Pro Wrestling. So he's like at the top company.
Oh, okay.
And my company was like the second. So but we couldn't merge. So like if I wanted to meet up with Tox Fale or Aaron Henare at the time, like another Māori boy from NZ, they made us break too. If we were to link up, bro, I can't go to his shows and go with him backstage. I can't support him. We have to do it behind, like when the show is finished, and like when none of the fans know us.
Oh, okay.
Because it's called kayfabe. I don't know if you know the word kayfabe. Kayfabe is like it's a term in wrestling where if you're the bad guy, you have to stick with the bad guys, and if you're a good guy, you have to stick with the good guys. If you get seen in public being best friends with the good guy, if you mix and mingle, the fans are gonna be like, "But you're the bad guy and you're the good guy. Why you just finished giving him a hiding?"
They take it seriously.
Yeah. So in Japan, they took it seriously. Even with our tour bus. With our luggage, the good guys' luggage over here and the bag. I was like, bro, it doesn't matter, man. Like the bags are they're all like, no, put the bags over there and the good one over there. Even with the sometimes with the bus too, with our tour bus, the good guys have to sit at the front, and then the bad guys have to sit at the back. And then when we come to the venue, the bad guys come out, but they go through the back door, and then the good guys, we come out, but we come through the front door, but we can't mix and mingle. And
okay.
I think they with Japanese pro wrestling, the fans, they actually treat it like it's
real.
Like it's real, yeah. That's what I took home with me, bro. It was like it's actually serious in Japan. They treat everything like another form of martial art. They even walking around in the streets and you see sumo wrestlers and they're wearing like I don't know what they wear, but like I don't know what it's called, but it's like jandals, but it's like there's these things underneath, and it makes like those noise when they're walking around. And bro, like some of these sumo wrestlers, bro, they're like 6'5", 6'6". I'm like, fuck. Like, but they're well respected, bro. Like in any form of martial art that you train in Japan, bro, you're respected.
Damn.
So it could be like K1 or Pride or pro wrestling, sumo. Doesn't matter what sport, but you're well respected. So when it came to like us doing pro wrestling, and when the shows are finished, we have there's a thing called sponsors. So sponsors are like the fans that have a lot of money, but they want to take you out to dinner.
Oh yeah.
So they'll pay for everything, pay for your dinner, pay for your ride, like to go back home, pay for drinks. It's just they want to get to know you, the wrestler, you know. And I think Shelton Benjamin told me, bro, it's like it's disrespectful if you say no to a sponsor. Doesn't matter if you're hungover from the night before with another sponsor. If another sponsor wants to take you out the next night, you have to say yes, you have to go.
So is that what happened to you? Like,
yeah, bro. So I was like, fuck. I don't know how many times, bro. Like, I was always happy when it came to like the end part of the tour, like the last couple days, because like after every tour, bro, we get like a 10-day break. So that's when some of the we got like the gaijins. Like I was called a gaijin, which is it's Japanese for outsider or like foreigner. So some of the foreigners within our company, like they'll for 10 days or 15 days, they'll just take off, go back home, and then come back like when the 10 days are over. And with me, bro, I was like, fuck, I can't be fucked, bro. I'm just gonna stay here. So I'll just stay at home, bro.
Sightseeing?
Sometimes I'll go sightseeing, but like I was at that, I think around about that time it was like the hot season. And like
okay.
it's
humid.
It's humid, but it's like real, like you think like the islands are hot, bro. Like walking around in Japan in the summer season, bro, it was like walking around in a sauna.
Bro,
It's
yeah,
fucking hot,
everything's close together.
Yeah, man.
What's the time frame for a tour? One tour?
I think 4 weeks. So you'll start your tour from say like on a Monday, but then within those 4 weeks you're stopping off at different cities and you're spending the night there. Sometimes you'll because we're on a bus, bro, you're traveling like maybe more than 12 hours on a bus to get to one city to another. Stay the night there, wake up again, travel out to another city. And I was like, fuck, man. Sometimes we'll have like it won't be a break, but it's still part of your tour, but like it'll be like a 2-day break. But that's that in those 2 days, bro, because we don't know where the fuck we are. So we're just gonna have to just make use of where we are. But it was more like a break, but kind of like you're still on tour. Yeah. So within those 4 weeks, we have like a day or two within just to chill out. Yeah.
And how many years did you spend in Japan?
I don't even know.
Was it a few years?
It was a few, yeah.
True.
I came back in 2016, I think. Yeah, 16, yeah. And then when I came back, and then I think she was pregnant with our second. With our second. And then she gave me like an ultimatum because she didn't want to play mum and dad while I'm gone. And I think with me, because I was just selfish, I was like, bro, I'm getting paid, bro. I'm getting paid to wrestle, man. Like this, I was getting good money, better than when I started. And then she's like, I don't want to play mum and dad. I was like, hey, fuck. I think with that, because I didn't want my kids growing up without a father figure.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like that guy that just comes home and I'm just that cunt walking around the house, like not respected. So yeah, when I made that choice to stay and be a dad, it's a choice that I never regret too. Some people were saying like, would you ever do it again? I was like, bro, I'll do it again. Like wrestling, like with people's passion, bro. Like if you ask them the same question, bro, they'll say the same thing. Like they'll do it again, bro. Like they live with no regrets. So with me, bro, when it came to pro wrestling, like I had to make that choice, either be selfish and take off and chase my dream to be a pro wrestler, or stay back and be a dad and do all these gigs that I'm doing before I made my break. And I made that choice to stay here and do my gigs from New Zealand and Australia, which is it's good. It worked on my behalf too, because like I'll get booked to wrestle for ex WWE wrestlers when they make the journey to Australia or New Zealand. So I'm like, because I've already done that route and I came back, and I've got experience in main eventing and stuff like that. And like with me, because I can put asses to seats, bro. Like I can like you guys pretty much know, like with my TikTok, bro, I can make anybody react to whatever the fuck I say. So when it came to promos, bro, like I can sell the fuck out of it.
Who's the most famous wrestler that you've had a match with? That
I'll say Chavo.
Oh yeah.
Chavo Guerrero. That guy's a funny story, man. Like because I was so used to like planning out a match. So like doing this, doing that. You're gonna beat me up for a minute, 2 minutes, then I'm gonna come back. Like the whole setup, come back and everything like that. So I was used to that. So when I got put up with Chavo, and me and Chavo were in the same locker room, and then he's just he's just on his own world. But me, I'm waiting because I don't want to be disrespectful. So I'm just sitting there waiting for him. Like maybe I'm waiting for him to call me over so we can go for our match. You know, because we're the last one. And then I was like, oh, bro, we still got time, bro. Like, well, we're match number 9. The show just started, so we got heaps of time. And then it went from match 1, match 2, match 3, match 4, intermission, which is like a break. Then I'm like getting a bit nervous, bro. Like I can feel like, you know, people get butterflies in their stomach.
Yeah.
Bro, I was getting butterflies in my ball bags. Bro, like a fuck. I'm like, fuck. And then match 5, match 6, I'm like, sorry. But he's still in his own little world. Like maybe he's got a routine that he does maybe to get ready. But my routine's already fucked up because I'm like, bro, I want to get this like planned out.
in your head, you know.
Put my mind at ease, then I can get ready. And then when it came to match 7 and then match 8, I was like, so I'm just gonna get ready. So he's already getting ready, then I'm getting ready. And then like we were talking during match 8 because we're like the last one, so we're match 9. So the second to last match, they just started, and then he was like, you just listen to my call, eh? I'm like, what? He's like, just listen to me. Okay, cool. So I'm sitting there listening. He's like, no, in the ring. Okay, so, okay, Chavo, no disrespect, but I've never done that before. Like,
I need a plan.
I need a plan. Like, so I put my mind at ease, so I know what to do. Like, just give me like the basic outline of the match, and then all the rest, bro, I can just fill it in. And he was like, no, just listen when we get out there. I was like, totally fuck. So when I'm doing my face paint, bro, my hands like this. I'm like, fuck. Wow, but he's like doing his jumping jacks, bro, with his elastic bands, bro, doing his
warming up,
warm up, bro. But I'm still like, man, I don't want to wrestle here. I might fuck it up. But then when it came to the main event, and then because I'm the bad guy, so I go out first. I went up, bro. Like I was nervous, but I think like as soon as I walk through the curtain, bro, like everything's gone out the window, bro. Like just get into character. So I set the mood, bro. Make the fans know that I'm the bad guy. So I'll go do my bad guy thing, go into the ring, all this kind of stuff, flipping the bird, everything like that. And then all you hear is like, ooh, Chavo, and then his song pops up.
Yeah.
And then Chavo comes out, then I'm just looking at everybody, bro, like, fuck up, walking around like this, nah. And then as soon as he comes in the ring, I bounce up, like I roll out, just to give him his little shine. But at the same time, bro, I'm like, when I'm rolling out, bro, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, bro. I still haven't said anything. So, like, but like with him, he talks while no one like he'll give like little instructions to the ref to so the ref can tell me, but he'll say it where no one's like paying attention.
Wow.
Yeah. So like he's doing his little parading in the ring, and then like I'm just being a heel, like a bad guy, like trying to get more heat from the fans. But I didn't realize that he said something to the ref, and the ref came out of the ring, came to me to say, he's like, oh, when you come into the ring, you have to kick Chavo in the face. And I was like, what? But I'm saying in character because I can't hear because the music's too loud. And he's like, what? He's like, you gotta kick him, and I grab the ref. I'm like, what? I'm in his ear. I'm like, what are you saying, bro? But I'm saying in character, bro.
No, nice. It's good that you did it because I'm a big fan of wrestling, right? And I watch all the little snippets of the shot calling, in matches, you know, and bro, you okay?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because I don't want to make it obvious to the fans, like, bro, what are you saying? So I'm saying in character, like, what are you saying? He's like, oh, kick Chavo in the face. Yeah. Okay, all good. I'm going to let you go free. Okay, 3, 2, 1, now fuck off. And the ref goes back in the ring. Then at least I know, like, when the bell rings, bro, I'm going to slide in and kick him in the face. So when I do that move, like slide and kick him in the face. And then he's looking at me, he's like, give me a height. I'm like, oh, not give me. He's like, beat me up some more. And I'm like choking him. I'm like, what are you saying? What are you saying? So all these little things, like I started learning from him, like it's called on the call, like on the fly.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin is a good person at doing that kind of art. John Cena as well. He's another perfect example of on the fly kind of wrestling. It's like a forgotten art in pro wrestling because everybody's so used to planning.
Yeah.
But with that kind of art, you kind of base your match on the atmosphere and the vibe from the crowd. So if I'm beating up someone for 10 minutes straight and the fans they're just quiet, then that's my that's kind of like my indicator to tell that person, okay, now you're gonna have to give me a hiding.
Yeah.
So that the fans can like get behind. So he'll beat me up for like maybe 2 of those minutes, and then I'll beat him back down. So then it gives that like the roller coaster kind of effect, like going high and low. Yeah. So that was like the forgotten art that I learned.
It's probably the best way because when you don't know what the crowd is like, you do that on the fly stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you play it, like you said, when you play it, you might be beating them up too long.
Yeah.
And there's no plan to change it up.
So it was a bit of a mind fuck for me because I got chucked in the deep end and Chava didn't say shit. He didn't say shit, but he didn't tell me like all this kind of stuff. But it was kind of cool because like I get to learn, like I was saying earlier, like different styles of wrestling, different ways of wrestling. So that kind of opened my eyes to being more reactive or paying attention like more closely to the crowd. To say like if I'm doing moves and crowd is just starting to die down, then that gives me like an indicator like to kind of switch it up a bit and stuff like that. So yeah. So
man, I was thinking about like how before you were talking about how the story behind the body slam during the match.
Yeah.
And I just remember those fights or those matches where they work on someone's leg.
Yeah.
And then they limp. They limp.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
And then at the end they win using the leg, and I thought he had a busted leg.
Yeah.
Do you watch wrestling now, like the WWE now, Kingston?
Oh,
you don't? Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
Oh, I do. I still watch it. And they had the same thing where they had it was a tag team match, and I forgot the wrestler's name, but he was with that the priest kid, the tall, and he's with Dominic
yeah. Rey Mysterio's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but then the guy got in, like, he got beaten up in his rib, and he had to take a seat, and then Dominic had to come and jump in the ring and fight,
Yeah.
But like it's all like
it's all you got to play through a storyline and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's played by a fake storyline, but other times where like it's either an injury did happen in the match, so you gotta improvise. Sometimes someone will like probably like land funny and like sprain their ankle, but then you're thinking like he's just playing it off. He's just maybe you just gave me an indication where I'll work your ankle, but then when you grab it, he's like, no, my fucking ankle's actually sore. But during those moments where the ref will have a fair idea of what's going on, so then the ref will tell the other person like, oh, now you need to back off, or like go taunt the crowd, or try to do something to get yourself disqualified. So sometimes when stuff like that happens, the ref has a good eye for that. So whatever match that you thought was going to be like the big match of the year, and then something happens within that 5 minutes, then they have to cut it short.
Oh yeah. Finish the match or something.
Finish the match and that, yeah.
Hey, just a question. Who was your favorite wrestler?
Mine
of all time.
I can't put my finger on one name. I think with me, because I gravitated towards short wrestlers.
Oh, okay.
Because back then WWE was the land of the giants, the over 6-footers, the big stocky cunts, and I couldn't relate to that because I'm not a tall cunt. I'm not jacked up.
Yeah.
So then I gravitated towards like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, what do you call it? Yeah, like all those really short wrestlers where they use like agility to win their matches, stamina to win their matches instead of like brute force. So like they were more like the Davids within the wrestling industry, because you got your Hulk Hogan's and your Macho Man's,
big guys.
they're all big and stocky, and they're all juiced up. Your Andre the Giants and everything like that. Then you got the short ones, and like at the time, bro, like I think if you wanted to be a wrestler and you were short, bro, you get laughed at because the image for pro wrestling was you're the big guy or juiced up, stacked. So I gravitated towards them, like the small guys. Yeah.
You know, on your TikTok, you've got a little video showing all your getting smashed on the tables.
Yeah.
You know, that technique. What is that technique to perfect that? Like getting thrown on a table and all that.
Nah, there's no technique. Man, you just gonna have to take it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like when it's better to go all the way through rather than half-ass it. I think you get injured more if you half-ass something. With me going through the tables, it's because I'm still on an adrenaline rush, so I have no time to think, bro. Like I'm still on that buzz where, bro, if you're gonna do it, just do it, bro. So when it comes to me, like jumping off cages or jumping off balconies or jumping over tables, bro, because the adrenaline's there, bro. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. With going through tables, so there's some people, bro. It's based on your falling, how you fall. There's a safer way to fall, and there's a not so safe way to fall. And I think with me, I do the not so safe. So I do all those, and people ask me like, "Oh, since you've been doing like all these hardcore matches and tables and chairs and ladders and all that, have you ever had like a serious injury in your career?" I was like, "Nah, I haven't." Like,
really?
Nah.
Wow.
There'll be times where I'll get beat up like pretty bad in a show, but I think because the adrenaline's there, bro, like I can't feel it. But when it comes to the next day, it's like, fuck, bro, like, oh man, it's not sore. It's just that I just don't want to move. It's nothing too strenuous, bro, nothing too serious where I have to take time off work or whatever. It's nothing that serious. It's kind of like after a footy match, after rugby, just when it comes to the down buzz, that's when you start feeling your pain. Yeah. So with that too, yeah.
You know, when you came back from Japan and you said how New Zealand wasn't ready for that style of wrestling.
Yeah.
And then a few years later they started to.
Yeah.
Why do you think that happened? Like, why do you think they sort of turned around and said, "Oh, no, we'll start doing this"? When you bought it like a few years earlier.
I think, well, like I was saying earlier, like they weren't ready for their style when I tried to bring it in. I think in my eyes, I think they made the switch because it started to be more popular. The
social media and stuff.
Yeah. You got UK. They're starting to. They have their own style of wrestling. But in the midst of that, they use strong style pro wrestling, so all the hard hitting and stuff like that. Australia, they do the same thing. America, they're starting to do the same as well. And you're starting to see it in WWE as well. Like you'll know when it's strong style of wrestling is when everything is so hard impact. I think because. With pro wrestling, bro, it's changing every time, or every couple of years, but there's always a new style, or every couple of years there's always a new move set or something like that. Like it's always changing, and when people started taking the strong style wrestling, I think there's a pro wrestler, a Japanese pro wrestler that came into WWE. His name was Shinsuke Nakamura. Well, he was the one that came from New Japan and got a contract to wrestle for WWE, and I think that's what kind of mainstreamed the Japanese Japanese strong style. and it brought more eyes into the that style of wrestling. So I think when I try to bring it in, like it's it was bad timing.
Yeah.
Or
New Zealand weren't ready.
they weren't
bro.
ready for it. Yeah. So yeah, like I think if I brought it in, I think with say like if I left Japan and I came to New Zealand with the strong style, but I'm still getting the same response, and I think if the Japanese wrestler did not, if Shinsuke Nakamura never got that contract to go wrestle for WWE and bring his Japanese strong style wrestling to the American audience, I reckon Japanese strong style will still be the a forgotten art, because at that time it was WWE was the place to be if you want to be a pro wrestler. Everybody aimed to be in WWE, but now you got different other feds, different other companies that can give you the same opportunity, but I think the schedule will be less daunting than what you'll get from WWE, because they travel like 300 days a year, but you can get the same kind of treatment from a different company, but with less traveling. So I think that's why some people they venture off to Japan, because it's less stressful. You still get time with your family. You get your I think 3 months on, 4 weeks off. So you go to Japan for 3 months, 4 weeks, for 3 months, and then come back home for 4 weeks, and then that's your routine there. So at least you, it won't be WWE, but at least it's still a good avenue to pursue and still have time for your family.
Still get out there.
Because I think with WWE, bro, you gotta be a selfish prick, bro. Like in any form of pro wrestling.
It's a single man's kind of game.
It's a single man's game. Like I think some people, like when it comes to like being a family man, there's a decision you gotta make, and you're either gonna go fully into pro wrestling or you're gonna go half-ass. So I think when I came back in 2016, and she brought me down to earth, and it made me realize what my actual priorities are. Because when we were dating, it was just me and her, and I was just going hard out with wrestling. And then when my son came, I was like, oh yeah, that's still good. I can still do my wrestling. And then now I got an extra mouth to feed, and I'm like, fuck. And then I can't give her the responsibilities of what a dad should be doing, so I couldn't give it to her. So yeah, I keep telling my kids too, like if you want to, if you have a passion, bro, just go for it, man. Yeah. Better to do it before you settle down.
With your experience doing the strong style Japan and living over there and working over there and coming back to New Zealand, like, is that giving you an opportunity to, since there's a rise in the popularity of it now, is it giving you an opportunity to like be a teacher, to train people in that style, or to for people to give advice to people?
I'm not too sure.
Are there any other New Zealanders that have got your experience of the strong style?
Yeah, there's a lot now, because of how it's more popular now, the style of wrestling. So there's a lot of Kiwis nowadays, like they're traveling elsewhere to level up. You got some Kiwis that are out in the UK, some living in Mexico, learning the lucha style, but at the same time being more versatile with their wrestling, like being an open book. You got some of the Kiwis, they're living in Australia, in America, like it's all over the place, like and pro and strong style of wrestling, bro. It's got to the point where like everybody knows that style now. Like you know how with Mexican wrestling, it's lucha libre, luchador wrestling. So like all your Rey Mysterios or the high flying or that kind of acrobatic kind of wrestling. So Mexico, that's their craft, and then you got American, where their craft is more like entertainment, showy, And then you got UK. UK is more the grappling side of wrestling, where they focus more on holds, submissions, takedowns. And then you got Japanese, where they're more of the combat. And then you got us Kiwis, bro. We don't have our own style, but we pick and choose. We grab everything and try and use what we had from different sources to put into NZ Pro Wrestling. But like with NZ Pro Wrestling, bro, I don't think we have a style, but we just like I said earlier, we just pick and choose what we want to learn from.
And how are you doing now in the wrestling world? You still involved? Right now?
I think since COVID hit, I couldn't wrestle because my booking would be in Australia. So since COVID came into play, it lasted for like at least maybe close to 2.5 years. So for 2.5 years, bro, I just couldn't wrestle because they had the mandates, and it was mandatory for you to be vaccinated to fly. So because of me, I'm not vaccinated, and a lot of the companies in New Zealand, they were still they kept that law, that rule up, like you got to be vaccinated and have a vaccine pass to wrestle and to be at these venues. And because I wasn't, it made me stop wrestling. It lasted for a year. Then I thought it would be like it'll pick up again once the year was over. But then we got slapped again with I don't even know if they have too many Delta or whatever. And then when that came through, then they shut the borders again, and then the vaccine passes and the vaccine mandates and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of pushed. I kind of put the pro wrestling on the back burner. I was like, oh, bro, I'm probably not gonna wrestle again anyway. I probably can't fly anyway. So it's time for me to focus on other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I started branching off into helping out with the youth, with the op shop that we run in Onehunga. The op shop in Onehunga, it's we do workshops in terms of like if you want to learn te reo Māori, there's a class there. If the youth want to learn how to sew and knit, there's a workshop there as well. Nice. Donations as well, like whatever you don't want could be someone else's treasure.
Yeah.
So like, bro, any donation can come through our ways. And then because me and my wife, bro, we took it on board. I think this is our 6th month going now. I think 6 months, 7 months.
Oh wow.
It's that building or that company that it was been running. It's been running for like the past 7 years, and I think when we took it on board, we took it to try and pursue in a different avenue, because it was run by elders. Out, so they're not really tech savvy.
Yeah.
They only rely on like the old school, like word of mouth. So when the customer when the customer walks through the door, and then the elders, they were like, "Oh, make sure you tell your friends and family like about the shop." Yeah. So then when we jumped on, we just attacked the social media outlets. Yeah. And
I saw the video on your social media.
Yeah.
And had showed there's free stuff you can take outside.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. So it was just when I'm doing that with my wife, bro, it kind of humbles me at the same time. So like the things that you see on social media, like it's like all the content that I push out. So like that's what people see me as. But then like behind closed doors, I'm doing these things.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, I get it every now and then, bro. Like some of the people are like, oh, why don't you just post up content about that then? And I was like, I'm all about the views. Like being on this journey with my wife, bro, was pretty humbling too, man. Because like it's because with crump, because I used to crump dance before I got into pro wrestling. So with crump dancing, bro, that kind of opened my mind to like creativity, like how to do this, how to do that, finding other ways to do that. And then when I left crump dancing and made the switch to that to pro wrestling, pro wrestling was the outlet that I needed to express myself. Coming out of my shell, bro, and just being who I am.
I think you're an entertainer too, so that's what I think people might, draw towards you too, because you're entertaining, like with your content on TikTok, Instagram, you know.
And I think that energy you have, the way you do your TikToks, and especially when you talk about those issues, political issues, or even issues around in our community and your community, or in our community.
I think with that, because I've been classed as a bad guy for saying stuff like that, and it's like in my eyes, like it's happening, but no one's addressing it. And like what I was saying earlier to the also over here was like, sometimes the community they tend to, they know it's happening, but they'll sweep it under the rug. But then I'm the idiot that comes out and just grabs all that shit from under the rug and chuck it down. Like, nah, bro, you're gonna have to say this and say that. Yeah. And then even though it's happening, but then I'm the bad guy for saying it.
Yeah.
And they say, like, you don't know what you're talking about, or you don't know that's our culture. But I'm like, it's certain stuff like that is happening, but no one's addressing it. Everyone rather sweep it under the rug and sweep other issues under the rug and just carry on with life. Where I'm, like I was saying earlier, I'm the one that just says, nah, fuck that. Like, this has to be addressed. Yeah.
Because you're kind of guy that's coming out and saying this stuff on social media. You're not the only one. There's Steven Settle, he's doing that as well. Like, and I always thought that, like, is this a rise of something new? Because Islanders, we're not meant to be being loud like they say, speaking our mind when it comes to things like because I think as a Pacific Islander, like, we don't want to be shamed. When people talk about us or people like the bad things we do. So it's a shameful thing, eh? So when people speak up, we know it's bad, but we just don't want people to put it out there.
I think that with me, it's like there is, what do you call it? Like, God gave us a brain to think and a mouth to speak. So when shit doesn't make sense, bro, I'm not gonna say, oh well, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but I'll just go along with it. I'm the one I'll just say it like straight up, even though I may come across as a prick. I think with being straight up, it's in my eyes, bro. In my opinion, is like, because our people were so, I wouldn't say humble, but we taken too much pride. We tend to not test the waters in order for the white man to be happy, or we tend to not test the waters in order for someone to feel happy. Where like it'll jeopardize your mental health, or maybe it'll put a strain on whatever relationship you have, because you're too busy trying to impress these people. Some Islanders I know, bro, like they're too much of a luck ass when it comes to the white man, especially in the workforce. Trying to get to the top, or trying to climb the corporate ladder, trying to impress the white man, when really you're just a fucking number. And I'm trying to tell them, like, why you want to bust your ass and cancel all your plans just to do overtime, when all you're gonna get, bro, is just a fucking handshake, or you're not gonna get a pay rise from that. If it goes against the code of conduct, or the health and safety code of conduct, and do you like if it goes against the code of conduct of health and safety, and they expect you to breach it to reach those targets, if you said the same thing to your manager, bro, would he be doing that too, or not? He would just tell you, nah, it's a breach. So I'm trying to tell all these Islanders, bro, like it's there's nothing wrong with saying no, and there's nothing wrong with standing your ground when shit doesn't make sense. That's why majority of these Islanders, bro, that I've come across, bro, they when it comes to like the white man saying something, they think it's law, or they think it's right. But when a brown boy like me says exactly the same thing, they think I'm just a fair poko, or they think like I'm just a wannabe palangi trying to talk that way. And I was like, bro, like, that's why the white man will look down on us, on us brown people, because all we're good for is just saying yes and never saying no. Taking orders from the white man, sacrificing our family time just to get the fucking the targets for the manager. Yeah. It's with me because I learned from my dad. My dad was like a staunch like an older version of me, but like when it came to my granddad, like my dad's dad, like he was getting treated like shit, like back in the 70s, when the white man will actually tell you you're a fucking bunga, you're good for nothing. Like some of these islanders nowadays, back then English was a second language, where like it was hard for them to learn English. So my dad took it upon himself to try and learn the white man's language. So when it came to like meetings or like hearings, he would sit down with those Polynesian men, and when it came, just so the brown man won't look like a dumbass, my dad will look up all these words, learning how to, because like how the white man, how he will say something, it could be something so easy, like so simple, but it's just he would just add in another word, a word that we don't understand.
Yeah.
But it means the same thing if you just take their word out. My dad learned how to speak like a white man, how to address certain issues without, because with us Islanders, bro, like when it comes to conflict, bro, like we can't talk it out. We have to fucking have a fight.
Yeah.
So that's what the white man wants. The white man wants you to get into a scuffle with him, say you're gone. He wants you to leave. But if you fight the white man with his own words, the white man or the management, they'll look at you different. They'll think twice about what to say, or like if when it comes down to like a meeting, and then when the management will say like, oh, any issues anybody want to raise, and they're just waiting for you to not say something because you have something to say. That's something that I've learned, and I'm trying to, even though the way my delivery is is pretty out the gate.
Straight up.
Yeah. my delivery is out the gate. Yeah, man. But like,
but I think that it's needed, that kind of talk.
That one, yeah.
These days, I mentioned Steven Setu before, because he's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen his TikToks. But he might be maybe extreme, but he's. But it's all about empowering our people. If you look at the underlying factor on all the stuff that's coming out there, and I think with what you're doing on TikTok and what Steven is doing, it needs to be on another level.
Mm-mm.
It's like we've been looked down on for so long, for so many years, for all these generations. Yeah. That the normal isn't working. Yeah. Like, are we gonna still be the same, or are people gonna actually step up and say stuff that even we don't want to hear? Yeah. But it's needed to be heard.
It needs to be heard. But it's like when people tend to make that move, like stand up and not follow the status quo, or not follow the basic narrative that doesn't fucking make sense. They need to stop looking at us and saying like we're trying to put them down, when it's just a different way of saying stuff. Like sometimes people want to hear things to cater to their feelings. Like they want to hear something, but when it comes to people like that are too straight up, we're trying to say something that you need to hear, even though it's gonna be like a bit I don't know, a bit too straightforward. But sometimes people need to hear it. They need to hear it, regardless of how
it comes out.
How it comes out, or regardless of how you feel at the end of it. It depends on how you take that message. So the delivery might not be there, but the message is clear. But then, like, if you can only listen to all the F-bombs and all that kind of stuff, then that's what you're gonna take back with you. But if you're gonna if you're gonna bypass all the F words and all that kind of stuff and listen to the core message that's in there, then that's what you're gonna take back. So it depends on how you listen. Something like that. Yeah.
I also think the styles comes from your background in wrestling. like is that aggressive kind of aggressive entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that character, what was it? Eclipse? Kingston Eclipse. That character, just that sort of aggressiveness comes through when when you're doing the TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it adds to what you're trying to say. You know, that brings it out. And I think because I saw another video of you that you announced that you were gonna be a ref for the 1 ounce or hosting the 1 ounce.
Yeah.
And I talked about Steven Settle. He comes from that world because he was a battle rap guy, and it shows in his TikToks, his delivery, because he's from that is another aggressive sort of thing too. So see, there's similarities between you two. You know, I think you guys come out at the time where it's needed.
Yeah.
You know, and people I think it empowers people that take it differently to people that take it to heart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think well, there's not many of us walking around. I don't know anybody else that is a straight shooter. So I think that's why people are not so fond of the idea of someone like an islander being a straight shooter. You know, how, like it's themed in our DNA that we're so there's too much pride, or we're so humble. So like when things don't if things don't add up, and you know it doesn't add up, but then you'll be so humble to not make that. Oh, I don't even know if that makes sense. Like you don't want to test the waters. Like you'll rather suffer the consequences rather than just standing up and just speaking your mind. And I think like there's like how there's me and then there's Steven, and I don't know if there's anybody else that's doing this exactly the same thing. But like I think that's why people look down on straight shooters or like people that just tells it like how it is, because there's hardly any of us walking around. Everybody likes to follow the status quo. Right? When a brown brother like us stand up and say what we need to say, or like what's needed to be said, it gets looked down upon, like what, like tall poppy syndrome, something like that. When one of the brothers trying to stand up and voice these issues, but then like the community knows like it's happening, but they choose not to listen. They'll rather shut you down so they can bring you back down to, I wouldn't say back down to earth, but back down to this fucked up circle. Yeah. And that, my intentions for that is pure. It's just the way I say it. And I think because we come from a church background, a humble background, too much pride background, that like it's gonna fall on deaf ears. The stuff that I'll say, I can't help it that people like me, we tend to swear a lot. Yeah. But the intentions are there. The message is clear as well. It's just how you receive it. You know.
I don't know anyone, because I follow a lot of people on TikTok or social media in general, but I don't know anyone as straight up as you. Straight up, bro. No, but I think that's what attracted me to your content. You know, you're straight up. Oh, first of all, was your skits. It cracked me up, but then you started doing the straight up content, and there's things you're like, hey man, it also does make sense, but I'm like the way like your delivery is just bang bang bang, straight to the point,
I tend to get that too from family members as well. Like they when it comes to like gatherings and they see me, but they give me that stare, like sorry, it's just social media, right?
It's
just content, man.
So who are the people that do back up what you say? Like, the people that you don't know, do they private message you and say, man, you inspire me, I believe everything, that kind of stuff? Like,
nah, I majority of them are hates, bro. Yeah,
damn,
it's all hate, man. I think when it comes to when it comes to like one-on-ones, like if I'm out in public, it's kind of cliche because like people, when they see me and they approach me, it's all the same thing. Like, oh, bro, like you're Christopher Floyd. Yeah, I'm Christopher Floyd. Oh man, I like your videos, bro. I got August, bro. Yeah, like you're funny, bro. And, like it's all cliche.
Yeah,
and I get it all the time. But like when it comes to like feedback, bro. It's always hate, but it's never in person.
Yeah,
it's always
yeah,
online.
Of course, yeah.
Or like they will tag me and do these comments like, "Oh, sorry, I think you really need a kiss the floor. Your name suits you." I'm like, "Oh, bro, yeah, all good, bro. Scroll." So like, I'm waiting for that day because they talk so much online, especially on my content. Because, bro, like I don't block anybody, or when it comes to me going live, I don't have any moderators to like filter out all the negative stuff. I'll just take it as it is. So when it comes to like online like hateful comments, bro, I'm like, bro, I don't know if you're an adult, bro, or if you're 12 a year. I forgot, bro, this is a kids app, man. Well, like, some of these comments, bro, like I laugh because like I think like I'm laughing at the comments because sometimes it doesn't make sense. So especially like the Islanders, bro, like when they stitch my videos and like with the parades, my parade videos, and like cleaning up the rubbish and stuff like that. And then like I'll see the comments, they all on my comment section, bro, and like they trying to type it up in English. They're typing it up, and I'm like, sorry, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna have to read this in a fob way so I can understand. But like, yeah, like sometimes they'll do that, or like when they stitch my videos or duet my videos, it's like they only take out what they want to hear, bro, and then they blow the whole thing out of context. And then with me, bro, I'm like, oh yeah, it's all good, bro. Like everybody's the same, bro. Like when they do it, bro, it's all the same reply, bro. Like, oh, this como or this it's all the same. I'm like, oh fuck, bro, that's just the rubbish, man. Like, they're like, yeah, but that's why we have the council, all right? We have the council there to come down and take care of the rubbish. I was like, bruv, I'm not talking about like the already organized parades where traffic management set up. It's already had the green light from the community leaders. Council's already been set up. So all those organized events for a family friendly event, that's all good, bro. It's just the ones that are what do you call it? When these idiots, bro, like they travel from out west, come down and run amok in Otara, and then fuck off to Mangere, and then go to fucking Rewa, and while they're traveling to different suburbs, bro, they're leaving a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, like, bro, if you got the what do you call it? If you want to get on the piss and drink, bro, that's all good, bro. But like,
responsible,
just fucking take your box, bro. I mean, like, majority of these communities, bro, they all carry a fucking liquor ban. And then I'm like, bro, like if you respect your community, I'm sure you'll take your rubbish with you, regardless if it was if the council's gonna come down here. And like if that's the typical
island mentality.
Like
it's not your area, so
it's, I don't care. Like got the council. I'm like, fuck, bro. So like all the organized ones, that's all good with me. Like there's no worries, but it's the ones that are when someone just what do you call it? Those random ones.
Hey, let's text the
we got a parade happening in Mangere. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? Yeah, but don't let kiss the floor now. So like any parades coming through, I'm like, bro, I'm really on to the next issue, but they keep tagging me. I'm like, fuck.
Oh,
so when it came to the rubbish one, the one in Mangele, and then everyone's like, oh, it's just kiss the floor's gonna say he's gonna blame the 685 supporters and blame the parades. I was like, sorry, that's not even the parade, bro. This is during the Christmas season.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like
it's already finished.
It's already gone, but because it's the rubbish, bro, and it's in a community, and because my name's attached to it, bro. Don't tag kiss the floor. Yeah. As soon as I see it, bro, I'm like, oh fuck.
Man, before we jumped on mics, you talked about your other thing you're doing, the a panel.
Oh, the panel. Yeah.
The panel.
There's 5 of us. So there's Sals. She runs the Lady Doras in Mangele. It's like a Polynesian salmon shop selling food and everything like that. So there's sales. We got a Tongan brother named Toko. I think he's from Kingston. And then we got a salmon lady. Her name is Eels. She's from here, from Henderson. And then there's Caleb. He's called the Fro. He's from North Shore. I think you know.
Your meeting.
Yeah. Still waiting for you to come jump on the podcast, Caleb, bro.
Yeah, Caleb, if you're listening, man, hurry up and jump on, man. So there's Caleb. He's from North Shore, and then there's me. I'm from Hawick. So there's 5 of us. Like it kind of just happened. Like we would, I think Sally and Caleb, the Fro, they were on a live stream together, and then I just jumped on just to to see what's up. Then everybody else jumped on to see what's up. But then I think like after a couple of days, you started to notice the regular viewers, and it was just me, Toko, and Eels, and then we were just jumping on, just talking a lot of shit. So we all vibed the same way, and then it came to the point where Sales invited me to appear on her live stream with Caleb. But at that time, like I think Caleb was like he was like a number 1 fan of mine.
Yeah.
So he was like he'll buy my merch and I'll go there, drop it off. And then that was the only contact that I'll have with him. That was the first face-to-face contact. And then when it came to like appearing on his on the live stream as a special guest, like he kind of fucking shat himself. Nah, like he got all
nervous.
Got all fanboyish. And I was like, bro, I'm just a dude, bro. It's just me, man, bro. And he's like, nah, bro, like I've been following you like since day 1, since the lockdown, bro. I'm like, fuck. Nah, you're like an OG. I'm like, fuck. But then we were just vibing on from each other, and then Toko and Eels jumped on as well. So it was just 5 of us. We were just having a good time, just chatting and just talking shit. Like we all vibe the same way. We all have the same thing. Like we all grew up with thick skin, so we can banter off each other. And Sales will ask the viewers for like any topics you want us to, but because we weren't called the panel, it was just a bunch of randoms. And then a topic came up about like, oh, what's your thoughts on men's mental health? And then that kind of put me like, that kind of struck a nerve. I was like, fuck, no one's asked me about this. And then all of us, we all had the same kind of approach. And then it kind of took us by surprise, like everybody's asking us all these serious topics instead of like the generic like how's your day and stuff like that. I think because when we were chatting, we'll bring up like past issues, like from different backgrounds, but then we'll have a laugh every now and then. So we weren't like your typical panel where it's just too serious. With us, where we'll have a serious moment, but then we'll just banter here and there, and then another serious topic, and then banter here and there. And then I think that's when the viewers started asking real like down to like real heart to heart kind of topics or questions. So then it kind of brought us like together, like, oh, maybe we should try and capitalize on this, you know, like it's obvious like the viewers they seek refuge in us, and like maybe that's their safe space when we go live. It was kind of we kind of respect them as well, because like they don't know us from a bar of soap. So in order for them to ask us that personal question, it's kind of like we're gonna have to take that on board and try and figure out a way to answer these questions, you know. So we created the panel, and it's just 5 of us. We all have different views on certain topics, but it's agreed to disagree. So if one of the members don't agree with our views, it's all good. We're not going to hold that against them. So yeah, the panel was created, and it's since created the panel, like we got registered as an official charity organization and group now.
Wow.
So I think it was last year, 2022. Yeah. So when we came together as a group, like as just 5 random people, it was like 2021, and we were just doing it just to have a laugh. And when the topic started to get more serious, especially from the viewers, were like, bro, like never been chucked in the deep end before, like especially like something so serious like like mental health in general, or like me explaining my side of my point of view in terms of certain issues within the Polynesian community, Polynesians being treated in the workforce and stuff like that. So when I was talking about those issues, and from my standpoint, majority of the viewers in the comments, they could relate to it, or they're actually going through it. So it was kind of like, oh, maybe it was a sign for me to not pursue wrestling. Maybe it was a sign as to why I couldn't fly out for those 2 years. Maybe this is another avenue I need to pursue. And maybe being amongst these with the panel, maybe there was a reason why I never pursued pro wrestling, or I never took it to the next step. So I think within those 2 years, it was just those 2 years of COVID where I had nothing to do, and maybe this is another calling I need to do. People say like, like if like with me, like I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual guy. I do believe there's a God, and I was saying to everybody, like when it comes to your passion and your gifts, some people they tend to look for it. Well, like they go searching hard out for it, or like they're trying to find their passion. Like they're so persistent. But sometimes when if you just leave it in God's hands, where the signs will be there. It doesn't matter if it takes like a year or 2 years, maybe 5 years. But like if you're a religious person and a spiritual person, bro, and you believe in God, that if you leave it in God's hands, bro, everything will plan out. So I think with me, it took me 2 years to actually put that in my mind state, that if I keep pursuing pro wrestling and keep pursuing it, the older I get, bro, the farther the dream's gonna be. Because like in pro wrestling, bro, like I'm like 33. I should have made it by now, or I should be on the verge of like in my Randy Orton years, like Randy Orton is like close to 40, maybe soon to retire soon, and it's just, if I try and make my break at 33, I've only got like a year or two before I get considered like you're getting too old for wrestling now. So that was like the option that they weighed out for me, like should I be a prick and try and pursue wrestling at the age of 33 and go guns blazing, where if I do make it, I only got like a year or two before I get caught like an old fart, So I think wrestling is, you got to do it in your prime, and I think I'm glad that I did it in my prime, but it just wasn't with WWE, it was with Japan. So like when I put that in my mind state, that like the older I get, there's other things I need to do before I leave this world, and like this could be one of the callings. And then
the panel comes along, and
when the panel comes along, I'm like, fuck, maybe this is another avenue I need to pursue, I need to take, and it's kind of giving me the green light too, like when it comes to issues, because I feel safe to say what I need to say without being cancelled, especially with the live stream, especially when I'm with the panel, because when I go live by myself, bro, 10 times out of 10, bro, I'm getting cancelled. So when I'm with the panel, bro, like, because they got moderators, and like they filter out all the negative stuff, and I try hard not to get too caught up with the comments, because like, when you join a live session, like a live group session, it's everybody's viewers from everybody's page.
Oh, they can watch it.
They can watch.
Oh, okay.
So like, Caleb's viewers, like his followers, they're watching, and then Sally's
Damn.
them. And then when it's mine, it's just full on hate. So when I'm reading, I'm like, the fuck? Nah, I can't, bro. I can't. So when they say it's always the first comment, bro. It's always kiss the muli. I'm like, fuck. Here we go. And then the panel's like, who's that? Nah, cancel him. Like moderators, come on, moderators. I'm like, fuck. Don't worry, bro. It's just another one of the trolls, man.
You know, I've never like I've been on TikTok for probably like two years, I think.
Yeah.
I've never done a live, eh?
You should, man.
I've never done a live. I've always wanted to know, like, you know, what like if it's live like Facebook or
It's kind of like
Instagram,
yeah,
just
it's
a
just-
normal live.
it's just
but
a normal
with
live. Yeah.
the followers, okay.
Yeah.
Is the panel on TikTok?
Not as a TikTok page, but like
How do I
different
get
members.
and watch it? Oh, I have to go on your.
if you follow one of the 5 that I
Yeah.
laid out, it's best to go through to sales views, SALZ, and views, like your point of view. We go live on her page, so all our members, we all jump on her page.
Is it a Facebook page?
No, TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok.
So then all 5 of us will appear on the live stream,
All right.
and it's every Tuesday nights at 9:30.
Wow.
So
every Tuesday.
every Tuesday nights,
I
yeah,
might jump on the next one.
yeah.
So you know all the questions that come through in the panel. Does that give you an indication of what's happening in the community? Like,
Yeah.
and so does some of these questions shock you? Like,
I think it kind of gives me validation of what's happening. Like I was saying earlier, like I speak on issues that I see from what my cousins have gone through, or like the young'uns at my job that have gone through, and those stories they relate so much. So when I see comments popping up through the panel, and they're asking the same thing, I'm like, bro, maybe it's not just my cousin and my mates thing. It's a community thing. But then that's the thing, because like when I say the Polynesian community, it's always the Samoans attacking me, bro. I don't hear any Cook Islands coming at
Yeah,
me.
but that's how it is, eh? Like no one wants to see, like, you know, someone shine, like,
Yeah.
you know. But that's just how it is, man.
Yeah, man. Like I've already, what do you call it? Like, you know, growing up with the thick skin era, so all these shots getting thrown my way, I'm like, fucking,
Yeah.
bro, I got heaps of one-liners, bro. Nah, but like, yeah, when it comes to like, me saying Polynesian, and the only ones that get triggered are Samoans, I'm like, fuck, man, like. You wonder why some of the content that I do it's towards Samoans, because when I say Polynesians, bro, or like the Polynesian island way or the toxic island way, it's always Samoans hitting, like getting butt hurt. So then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll say the Samoan, or I'll branch off to like Fight Love Lovies, like the bad side towards Fight Love Lovies, but I'm still getting hate. I'm like, fuck. Whenever I say Polynesian this, Polynesian that, it's always Samoans. I'm like, fuck. I'm waiting for like Cook Islands to badmouth me, or New Wayans to badmouth me, but it just seems like it's only the Samoans, man.
is that because we're loud? Or what do you think that is?
Too much pride, I reckon. Anything in regards to Samoa, yeah, you're gonna get defensive. I'll probably be the same thing too. Like if someone talks shit about the motherland, but it's like you're gonna have to actually pay attention and listen without getting triggered by a fuck or a cunt or a swear word.
Or bruv.
Oh, bruv. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Everyone's like,
Yeah,
oh,
bruv.
come on, man, bruv. I'm like, bro, since you guys hate the word bruv, I'm gonna go print out a shirt that says bruv. I'm gonna sell it for merch then.
How come you say that word? Because that's comes from the UK. Huh?
UK, yeah. I picked that up from my uncle. When I think when I was 17, straight out of school, then I took off to Oz to go work. And then my uncle, he's always said bruv. So
Yeah.
I picked that up from him. So because my uncle and my dad, they're brothers, all right? So then when my uncle goes, oh, how's my brother? I mean, your dad. So then, the word bruv, bro, I wouldn't say it's been ingrained, but I've been around it so much. Yeah. So when I'm talking, bro, and then people are like, "Why are you saying bruv all the time? You're not from UK. You watch too much Top Boy or something." I'm like, "Fuck, man. Well, why is your profile say Wagwan then?" Like, well, why you say "Oh my days"? I'm like, "Fucking, aren't these UK slogans or UK slangs?" I mean, like, it's just a word, man. Like, I say bro, I say G, I say bruv, I say, oh, it's just a word.
Yeah.
But then people just get triggered, like, oh, like I'll put out content, but I look at the comments, it's always like bruv.
Yeah,
Or what's up with the bruv? I'm like, fuck.
You know, it's funny. You know what's funny today, guys? Kingston games. So I was at the gym, right? And then I was at the gym, and I told the trainer, shout out to Westside trainer Joe, if you're listening, they're listening. So I was sort of excited because I knew I was gonna come out. You know, to see those all right. But see, Kingston, I didn't know your like name properly. I was thinking, is it Kingston or was it? You know, I didn't know your name, right?
Yeah.
So I was telling the boys like, I'm not going to my other training because I'm going to my podcast. We've got a special guest on tonight, and they were asking, "Oh, who's your guest?" And they were like, "Oh, do you guys know that guy on TikTok, the Kiss the Floor guy?" And bro, all of them knew it was you, and I'm like, yeah, that's who's coming to our podcast, man. I was like, don't
The bruv guy. Is that the bruv guy?
The bruv guy. I had a mate who did his OE in the UK. Came back with that word, saying it all the time. So that's when I knew that word. I was like, man, what's that word, bro? Is that what they say over there? Yeah, bro. And you keep on saying it. I was like, oh, true. Oh, yep, bro. Yep.
Where did you get the Kiss the Floor from?
Oh man, I was. It took me back from my youngin' days, especially with my elders, because they're very limited with English.
Oh yeah.
And because I wasn't raised to speak fluently in Samoan, and my elders, like my grandparents, like if they say something to you in Samoan, bro, like I'm not gonna ask twice. Like, what did you say? What did you say? So my grandma, she asked me something in Samoan, but because I was only like, I think 7 at the time, 7 or 8, and I was saying where or what, and she pointed somewhere. So then I went to where she pointed, and I was like, fuck, this. So I came back like that, and she goes, shh, Sully, you on Kiss the Floor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I come like that, and she like, you want to Kiss the Floor? Oh. So, yeah, I learned that from my grandparents, man. Like,
oh, true.
Yeah, so it was just me paying homage to my grandparents, like, or them trying to speak Samoan to me, but I'm like, I'm a New Zealand born. I'm like, nah, fuck, say it English. Yeah, but like, yeah, that was where Kiss the Floor came from. Yeah,
this crack up, man.
That's why everyone's like, everyone asks the same thing, man. Like, where'd you get the name Kiss the Floor from? So I keep saying the same story, like especially when I'm on live, and then like another comment will come up like, hey, why is your name Kiss the Floor? I'm like, fuck. So I gotta say it again. I just said it. Yeah.
No, I just thought like because the way that you look, and you know you don't look aggressive.
Yeah.
And then if anyone read it like, oh man, they messed with him, man, you're gonna kiss the floor.
Yes, I'm laughing at everybody's like interpretation of Kiss the Floor. Like I didn't correct him, bro. Like if that's what you think Kiss the Floor is, it's all good, man. So sometimes they'll say like they'll use my brand against me. So like they'll say I can't wait for someone to make him Kiss the Floor. All good, man. Yeah.
You got it around, bro. Kingston, you got it around us.
Well, I first knew you as Kiss the Floor on TikTok with your videos first before I knew you were a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
So when because of him, he said, "Oh no, he's a wrestler too." Hey, oh true. And then that's why he got Kiss the Floor, because that's like a wrestling thing. Kiss the mat.
You can make any story.
Everyone says the same thing too, man. But it's weird, man, because like I get noticed more for TikTok than my bloody wrestling.
Man.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, you're the TikTok guy." I was like, Yeah, and I do wrestling. But even like when I'm walking out in public, like only some people know me as Christopher, but then majority of the people, they're like, you're the TikTok guy. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, sometimes just say Christopher. Or
You know how you said like Samoans are the only ones that are coming at you.
Yeah.
Man, you know the whole thing about keyboard warrior. Man, we must be made for keyboard warriors. hey, the fuck.
I think that probably is, bro. Because like when it comes to like,
because like you said, when you go out in public, like no one says it.
no one sees anything. But it's only when I go online and check comments or like check my content, bro. It's always I know there's someone's because it's always 685 or I noticed, bro. Like it's I know it's a Salmon account because they always have like a gay ass fucking what do you call it? Username.
Bio.
Bio. No, the username. Sometimes there's always like Bolo this or Ligma what, something like that. I'm like, fuck, I bet you this guy's Samoan, man.
Well, I figured like YouTube and TikTok are the only places where you don't have to have your real name.
Yeah.
So it's easy to message on those platforms.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between the Facebook comments. Because Facebook, it's your real name.
Yeah.
So no one wants to. No one wants to put a comment. But YouTube, you can fake
say whatever.
Same name. Yeah. TikTok, different name.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
That's the. I think that's the downside of with social media. Is like you can say whatever you want, but then it's gonna trigger someone to either take it the right way or take it the wrong way. You know, because with me, like I wouldn't say I was born into social media, but like when I got into wrestling, that was my first glimpse into social media. Because I'm a wrestler, you gotta put your product out there. Like, Kingston Eclipse is the product that is wrestling. So I was in my early years of pro wrestling. That's when social media hit for me. I wasn't even into like all these platforms. I was just into like just Facebook and that's it. But then since wrestling came along, and then gotta put your image out there and try and get promotions and try to get your money out there too. Try and grab your booking fees and stuff like that. So you gotta have to pursue all these apps that you don't really use for personal use, but you use it for like business wise. So I take on Twitter, Snapchat as well. Like I just use every other outlet just to push out the wrestling brand. So I think that's what kind of got me into social media and branching off to different avenues, and like first glimpse of like hateful comment, bro. Like it got me the most, man. Like when I first got my first hateful comment, I wouldn't say on TikTok, but it was like I think it was in regards to I think with the wrestling. I think it was, yeah.
Were they criticizing your character?
Nah, they were just saying I'm too skinny.
Oh,
yeah, bro. I was just.
Why don't you get in here and
And that's the thing, right? Like you've said that how many times? Like when people comment on our stuff, it's like, oh, well, you go make a podcast. Then.
True.
That's what you've said. Huh?
Yeah. Some people they'll rather see you like they don't want to see you shine. Like, and that's what's bad with the Polynesian community. Like, when someone else makes it out, they want you to come back down. It's like I think my brother he's because I'm the eldest of 5, and then there's my brother, he's just under me. He's an underground New Zealand rapper. He goes by the name of Pope Bronze. He's really good at storytelling. So when he does his raps, it's always based around like living in Otara or the struggles of Otara, or like the basic walk of life in Otara from a day-to-day basis. So when he'll be telling a story and everything like that. And what got to me was that like he had there was a verse in one of his raps was the hood was designed to keep you in, but you were designed to get out. And I think with that mentality, like especially from the boys from Otara or from any neighborhood, is like you have the potential to pursue whatever dream or aspiration that you have, but it's just that you don't want to be looked as what do you call it? You don't want to leave your neighborhood, or you don't want to get out of their hood because you're afraid of what your boys are gonna say. That you're leaving us just so you can go over there. You're not gonna make it, G. And sometimes you have like your homegrown talent in the hood, or your homegrown talent in your neighborhood, but like it's sometimes they never pursue it because of other people's point of view.
Yeah.
So then you'll see them, bro. They'll start talking about it like years later, bro. Like getting on the post, like, bro, I could have been this, I could have been that, but like I chose not to do it. Or why is that? Oh, because of what he said, or because of what he said. And like if the Polynesians, or if people in general in different neighborhoods, if they just cut out their bullshit, like if one of the boys wants to make it, then so be it. He's gonna put your neighborhood on the map, just like how I put Otara on the map in Japan. And that was like one of the avenues that no one pursued, and especially from Otara. Because you have your gangsters, you have your drug dealers, you have your normal 9-to-5s, you have the sport players, you have your musicians, but then there was no pro wrestling. So I thought I'll take it on board and pursue wrestling. That way, like if anybody wants to pursue wrestling, especially from Otara, I know how to get there.
But because you're doing something that's outside of the normal, people are going to criticize you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Man, why are you doing that for?
Yeah.
No one does that.
Yeah, that's why it was hard. That's why it was hard, like trying to get into wrestling at that time, because it was so frowned upon, and because when Palangis were doing the sport, no one looked down on it. But when Islanders do something out of the norm, like not play rugby, not play league, not do boxing or whatever, but do pro wrestling, they're like, "Sorry, that's fake." Yeah, but fake got me overseas and got me all these opportunities. Yeah.
You know, when I think about America and the musicians, the black musicians that come out from the projects they talk about and be famous, or even sports people, and you always hear stories about them going back to the community and giving back.
Giving back as well.
Doing if you're a sports person, you'll make youth things like a new court or something. If you're a basketball player, or if you're a musician, you'll come back and give back to the community, with stuff like that. But but because they've gone to the top, they've come back to do it, right? To give back. And I think that's what's made the community think, oh, so if we get more people out there, they'll come back.
Exactly.
And you know, because when you're talking about how people in our hoods, like I could have made it, but I don't want to stay off the hood. Like, see, they don't get the opportunity to go out and maybe come back. And maybe if more of us get out there and come back to give back, then maybe the community will see.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what will happen. Man, we should encourage everyone to go out there.
Yeah, exactly. There's more to life than just living in the hood. Or there's more to life. There's opportunities out there. If your cousin or if your brother or your mum wants to take that leap of faith, just let her or let him take it.
Because because if you're the guy to let them go, you'll think, man, hopefully they can come back and give back to us. Or help us out.
Yeah, exactly. Or like learn as you go. Like maybe when you get there, like sometimes people when they make it out of the hood or make it out of their neighborhood, they tend to shit on what came before them, or like they think they're up there. But like in my mind, there's like you always pay respect to those that came before you. Or when you leave, you always pay respect to the boys like from the neighborhoods and stuff like that. Because once you hit rock bottom and you got to come back down, all those people that you shitted on, you think they're gonna go wipe up your wounds and stuff like that? Nah, they're gonna like, oh, shame on you, cunt. Yeah. But if you try your hardest to make it out of the hood, but still have respect for your hood, even if you don't make it, bro, and you come back down, all the boys be like, solid, all good, man. As long as you gave it a try, G. Yep. Yeah. When's the next one? Oh, fuck, I don't know. Fuck, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, if we have that mind state, bro, and that mentality where, like, if one of the boys wanna gap it and go pursue something else, let his wings branch out, bro. Like, let him fly, bro. What do you call it? That's the same thing with what do you call it? What's that? I was saying tall poppy syndrome. Yeah, it's like I think it's Islanders where they get a bit jealous. I think like if they have their dreams, bro, but they see someone else pursuing their dreams, they're like, oh fuck, nah, if I can't pursue my dreams, nah, you stay back here. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm a victim of that. Top up syndrome with the effects it has.
Yeah.
Because I always think, man, because when we first started the podcast and that, it was hard to get it out there. Because I was always worried about what people think.
Yeah, true.
And they'll probably hate it. And
Yeah,
and then they'll put me off and then I won't do it again. I must be useless. So I won't do it. That kind of thing.
You'll never know, bro, unless you give it a go, you know?
Yeah.
Can't go to sleep having the what ifs all the time. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. You know, like some people, they tend to do that. Like, they have a brilliant idea, but then they'll rather sleep on it rather than like actually put into play. Like any idea could be any. It's not a bad idea. If you wanna like to start the podcast up, it's a risk that you're gonna have to take, and it could benefit you or not. But as long as you take that risk, then you know, like, you can go sleep at night, like, as long as I gave it a try. If it doesn't pay off, as long as I give it a try. But if it's popping off like how it is now, like, I'm glad I took that risk. So it plays 50-50 in a way. But like if you solely believe in your mission in regards to this podcast, then the outcome will be all good. It's just sometimes people don't believe in themselves, you know, when it comes to setting a goal or setting a task or pursuing something, because there's always that doubt in the back of the mind, especially it won't be much as from yourself, but like what others are gonna think, like what you were saying earlier too, like starting up a podcast, but wondering the perception from everybody else, you know. Yeah. So I think with me, bro, like if you have a dream, or if you have like a passion or a goal that you plan to set up, bro, just do it, man. Life is too short to go to sleep having what ifs all the time. Yeah.
You know, for someone like you that gets a lot of hate on social media with your content.
Yeah.
Well, what is your goal? What is your end goal for social media and what you're doing? And you know, because you're going to get a lot of hate, but you're still going. Like, what motivates you? You know, you've touched on a lot about what motivates you, but for this specific thing, all these bad comments coming to you, and you're still doing it. But what is your goal, and what's making you keep on going?
I don't know. I think with me, with my content, it's more like trying to push the message out. I'm trying to not make everything be swept under the rug, because there's a lot of topics out there. I don't care who gets offended, but it needs to be addressed. I don't mind carrying the banner, the bad guy banner. I'll wear it for as long as I can, but like with these certain topics and issues, that's what drives me to push out these content, because it's happening, but no one's owning up to it. And like I was saying earlier too, like with the issues being swept under the rug, and I'm the prick that walks through the door and grabs the whole thing out and like throws it out. So like in my eyes, bro, I'm like with my social media content, bro, with certain topics and certain issues in regards to like day-to-day life, or with the Polynesian community, like if what I'm saying is offending people, then it must be in relation to them, you know. Like if the shoe fits, wear it, you know. Don't get angry at me for saying this stuff, because if you are, then maybe you've done it before, or maybe you know someone that's done it before, you know. I'm just a bad guy. I'm just a middleman that just happened to expose it, and it's not for the bad reason. Yeah, the reactions come along with it, like or the negativity and stuff like that. It comes with it, but like, and amongst all the negativity, bro, there's always that message that I'm trying to push out, where like a brown brother can speak his mind. A brown brother can go against the grain. When things don't add up, or when things don't make sense, that it's okay to stand on your own 2 feet and say it without being shut down by the community, because we have so much pride. Like when it comes to talking about your own community, when someone shits on your own community or shits on your motherland, there's a reason behind it, and like the way I say it, and maybe me being disrespectful to the motherland, or being disrespectful to the community, but the message behind it, or the message that's in there, it's very clear. that I'm not dissing your motherland, I'm not dissing your community, I'm dissing the problem, and the problem needs to be addressed. And until that day comes where the people are gonna listen to the message and not get triggered by the word fuck, because the word the word fuck is it's everywhere. Everyone says it. Everyone says it. It's on movies. It's on TVs. It's on music channels.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
It's just you got your polite way of saying it, and then you got the raw way of saying it. And unfortunately for me, bro, I took the raw way.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of polite people. They like how people are asking me like, oh, why you switch from doing your funny skits to straight up ugly truth? And I was like, bro, in the Polynesian community, there's heaps of fucking comedians. There's heaps of comics. There's heaps of Polynesian content creators that do funny skits. There's heaps, bro. But there's hardly any straight up like straight shooters, straight up truth. At the moment so far as well, it's only me and Steven. Steven's got his own way of doing it. I got my own way of doing it. But like the whole way of the sole purpose behind it, bro, is exposing the ugly truth. And if there's I don't see myself why I should do all these skits when there's heaps of Polynesian comedian skits out there. So why not just build my own road, you know? If that means like getting all this flack from everybody, like, oh, you're just a dumbass, or why are you saying dumb fuck all the time? Stop dissing us, bro. You don't know our culture. If that's what it takes, bro, for me to try and get the message out there, bro, then bro, I'm all good, bro. I don't mind walking that lonely road. I don't mind that, yeah. So I mean, that's from my point of view, man, when it comes to content, man.
Sure. Any last questions?
Just man, funny to meet those. So Kingston, bro. Your lovely wife. Thank you. Thanks for driving out here, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man.
Nah, it was good. Nah, because I found this through what's his name, Locking Latu.
Yeah.
Locking Latu
He was the last one.
Because I'm mates with him on all platforms, and then when he shared that, I was like, oh yeah, I'll have a geese. So I started looking. And then I jumped on the YouTube page. And I just started watching. Oh, that's cool. Then I started scrolling. I said, oh, it's cool. Hey, Steven. Hey. Yeah. Fucking me and this guy got beef, bro. Fuck. I mean, like, there was no beef, but because the viewers, they made it out to be beef.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, fucking hell, man. So whatever video he does, I get tagged on it. Christopher, what's your view? I'll get fuck. Then I'll do a video, then he'll get tagged, Steven, what's your view? I'll get fuck. It's like they want us to, this online beef, yeah. So that's when I found that, and I was like, fuck. So I saw Steven's video. I mean, like, you can see my reaction. I already put it on TikTok. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, man. And then I saw the Christopher reaction. I was like, sorry, can I jump on? So when I shared the post on IG, I was like, fuck, I'm keen to chat. And then within a day, I think the next day, I was like, yeah, we're keen to chat also. Okay, yeah, sweet. I'm keen for that. But yeah, like it's the content and everything like that, bro. I'm like that. People say like there's two different people within there. You got your real person, like your real like how you are, and then there's a different side of you when you're online. So like people put on a persona, put on like a character. Cause the flow is Kingston, but cranked up.
Right.
So like how I am now, bro, I just turned it down a notch,
Yeah.
But when it comes to like Kiss the Floor, like you'll probably see my content tomorrow, like fucking. But like when it comes to like podcasts or like interviews, bro, I gotta crank it down a bit, So it's like when you're going through your job interviews, you got your loud stuff, then you got your Balangi voice. So you put your Balangi voice, you get the job,
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like my simmer down voice.
And I'm glad I've had both you and Stephen on the podcast, because we've been almost talking for 3 hours, and Stephen was like 2.5 hours sort of thing, and just that long form of conversation, just to get everyone out there to to listen to it and then figure out for themselves. Okay,
Yeah.
this is him outside the 15-second, 60-second videos of TikTok. So you get a better understanding of where this person comes from a lot more than they do on their own feeds. So I appreciate you coming on the podcast, brother.
That's cool,
Also,
that's cool, man.
thank you, man.
I'm glad you guys answered the call, man. I was like, oh man, they probably won't call back. Man.
Nah, man, we talk to anyone over here, man. We're all good. We're all good, man. Now, thanks, and we'll look out for you on the in the 1 ounce stuff.
Oh yeah.
Let us know if you're gonna if you ever decide to jump back in the ring again.
Oh, for sure. Everybody's asking too, man. Like,
If you ever
Tyrese
come
as
in,
well. Yeah.
we'll come and support. You know.
Oh, that'll be mean. I'll try and find one in Auckland. They're mostly out here. All
Is
the
he near
shows.
the Trust Stadium?
Nah, bro, that's
Oh.
too big for.
Oh, there's one Macau does, though. Macau? Molipolo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with IPW. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Because he's a trainer.
I think he's.
Did you train under him?
Nah. I think. Nah. I was a rookie when I came in. Yeah, but he was, because like in the early years where I started slacking off.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thank you, bro.
No, okay, man.
Kingston, my man.